Yo, what up, man? What's going on with y'all? Uh, Pardon the tardiness. Um, but I went to the gym for the first time, man, today in what 3 months. So, I mean, I had to get settled back in, man. Shout out to Ken and Wild. Shout out to No Country for Old Simps. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. You know what you came here for. You know what's about to go down. Oh, it always is. Shout out to Wiseville TCP, Ameezy, keeping it real. Reggie, what's up, man? You still on the hunt, Reggie? You still on the hunt, bro? Still on the hunt. I figured that shit would have died down by now, but motherfuckers still picking them up. Wiseville TCP. No, did you leave it on the Did you leave it on the comments or after the video or before? No, I didn't know. The last video period or the last Tinfoli Tuesday? Let me see what you're talking about here, good brother. Oh, stop it. Cannon Wiles. No old niggas. No old niggas allowed. Oh, okay, let me look at it. Oh, okay, hold on, let me see what this is about. Nah, I'm just not seeing it, Wise Will. Just not seeing it, man. I'll check on it later though. See what's up. But yeah. Huh? We talking about what? Ain't no master, master teacher around here. He ain't no master teacher over here, bro. That's y'all call that nigga that shit. Just saying. I'm not with that master teacher shit. You gotta have a motherfucking dojo or some shit. Some kind of credentials. Be a motherfucking master teacher, man. That's just my book. I could be wrong though. It is what it is. I don't really give a fuck. Hey man, more power to y'all though. Let's go ahead and get into it, bro. Yeah, where we at? Is this it? Is this it? Wait. No. What's it at? Oh, here we go. Let me see something. Let's do this. Let's fuck up and do this shit. Oh, we good. Okay. Let's see. Let's share screen. There we go. All right, let's get into it.
America. Two men, Cecil Rhodes and Lord Milner, played an indispensable role in the creation and expansion of the network. Their actions changed the world forever, and for that reason, no depiction of the network, or modern history for that matter, would be complete without mentioning their names. Likewise, two additional men played an indispensable role in helping the network achieve one of its crucial goals: regaining control of the United States of America. The first man, Edward Mandell House, was clearly a willing and deceptive servant. The second man, President Woodrow Wilson, was almost certainly a well-meaning dupe. But before bringing these two additional characters into the story, let's touch on why it was necessary for the network to recover the United States and destroy its political and economic sovereignty. Global Domination 101. There's always one non-negotiable element in any plan to secure global domination: sovereign nations.
So again, man, when you get into this thing and we keep trying to tell people the importance of like the essence and the founding for America, bro. America is the last harbinger of freedom for a reason. America's whole existence came off of, hey, we don't agree with this, so we're gonna leave and go and do our own shit. We don't want to be under any type of monarchy, any type of one man rulership. Well, one motherfucker gets to determine what everybody does. Okay, we don't want to do that. No monarchy, no dictatorship, none of that. Okay. So when you have people doing all these things and going against the Constitution, and now if you guys pay attention and understand, they're vilifying people for trying to uphold the Constitution. They're calling people extremists and all these things. And again, like I said on NBC, I think they said, people, they're too concerned with freedom. What kind of shit is that to say for America? But again, if you go back and you understand how and why they did what they did to um, discourage nationalism, patriotism, all these different things, unless it's something that helps promote war. Because the last time it was cool and proud to be American was, of course, what? 9/11. Whenever it's us versus them, then they want you to be the ultimate America, believe in America, all these different things, right? But if and when the new regime right now, or not the new regime, the network, which they talk about, is pretty much done and over with America, and it's in the way, now you have to tear down all of that nationalism and proud to be American and all that stuff because it's in the way. Because you cannot have America without freedom and sovereignty. And again, this is why they keep trying to kill God or take God out of everything, because ultimately your God-given rights are within the Constitution. So if you make God the enemy or you make God non-existent, then where are your rights coming from the Constitution? You get to say, okay, well, this has nothing to do with God because there is no God. It is the people or the lawmakers, Congress, the Senate who determine it, right? So this is why it's been such an attack on religion, especially Christianity. Shout out to Sir Tice for the 5. Appreciate you, bro. Okay. Keep telling y'all, man. It's a reason why. And again, I'm not go do what you want. I know a lot of y'all don't fuck with the Bible like that or whatnot, what have you. Hey, to each his own. But there's a reason why Christianity is attacked unlike any other religion. Again, you just had some black preacher give homage to Brahma. Okay, a black preacher. I'm pretty sure he can't even fucking spell Brahma. And at the end of the prayer, he said, not only our man, but our women. This is where you get into the occult aspect of it. And they say we're moving into the age of Aquarius. All this feminine mother goddess worship, all this stuff shot the Chronicles. And like I said, man, when people start saying certain things and you're not versed, which I'm still not well versed, I'm still learning. I'm nowhere on the level of people that have, occult and esoteric knowledge. I would definitely direct you to somebody like Chronicles of Judah, Jay Dyer, even Mag, when it comes to like gematria and all that stuff like that. I'm learning. Okay. All right, that's not my wheelhouse. So I would never act like I'm an expert. Okay. But I would definitely direct you to those individuals that have a whole lot more, knowledge in the game in that aspect.
Truly independent nations cannot be tolerated. Why? Because global domination is about centralizing all power into the would-be ruler's hands. Independent nations impede this consolidation and disturb the proper chain of command. This seems straightforward enough, but since it's rarely boiled down to its simplest form, it's worth repeating. To rule the world, you must first destroy national sovereignty. You must consolidate and control the real levers of power, regardless of the different forms of government that appear in each country. If democratic forms of government can persuade the majority to accept your global policies, then democratic forms should be used. If tyrannical forms of government are more effective at gaining compliance, then let there be tyranny. If shifting from one form of government to another, turning nations and societies on their head, provides an opportunity to obtain your objectives, so be it. All that truly matters is that you control the leaders who appear to hold power, and that you contain or destroy those leaders if they forget or simply haven't realized who the real master is.
All right, that's what we saw happen to the current president. The current president dared buck the system, the controllers, the puppet masters. All right. In the past, if you did that, hey, somebody was coming to see you with them things that go boom. If you go back and look at the history of any president that was assassinated or there was an attempt on his life, it was a direct correlation that had something to do with usually the Federal Reserve, okay, or money. That's what it's always about, because again, the whole thing that controls all of this is money. And I keep telling you again, another thing, this is why I say no matter what, even if you don't believe in the Bible, okay, even if you don't believe in the Bible at the very least is one of the best allegories and proverbial books that you could ever read. It's a lot of life lessons in it. Is that, and people often mess up this saying or this colloquialism. It's not that money is the root of all evil. It's the love of money is the root of all evil. They tell you that way back in the Bible. And these people know they can control everything with money. This is why they don't teach people about economics. This is why they want people to be ignorant and purchasers of things, not producers of things. Because if people understood what money was, it would never be able to work like it's supposed to, because people would control their money. And if you go and look at the demographics that have a good understanding of it, people from Israel, Asians, and other things like that, that's why they're so powerful. They understand the power of group economics. Again, shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson. This is why Dr. Claude Anderson has been trying to teach and tell Black people for I don't know how long, but because Black people, again, man, I don't even know what it is. I can't. It's a lack of understanding, but it's a less than that. No, more than that. It's willful ignorance. There's too much fun being had by niggas, man. I remember when I was still on Facebook, and I was just like, man, it's funny to me how y'all get these $5,000 to like $10,000 tax returns every year, and you go ball out and you do all this stuff and whatnot, what have you, and then next year you by not even next year, by the summertime, by the end of July, you're waiting for the next tax return to come next year. You know how much money you can do with what you could do with $10,000 a year for free in just 3 years. But then, like I say, just look at that. For 18 years, this woman gets that money for sitting on her ass, making babies, not doing anything, already living off fucking government assistance on Section 8. You know what I'm saying? Your motherfucking rent is like $20. Your light bill is like $5. Basically living for fucking free and flushing all that motherfucking money down the drain and giving it right back to the government that gave it to you. Shout out to my grown man business in the building, man.
This is what Quigley meant when he said the network's members are, quote, satisfied to possess the reality rather than the appearance of power. To the extent that they direct the political and economic machinery of nations, and to the extent they can destroy national sovereignty and impose their policies on the citizens of the world, they possess the reality of power. Accordingly, anything that weakens national sovereignty is their ally. Anything that strengthens it is their enemy. Unfortunately, as Ed Griffin points out in the Quigley formula, many people struggle to believe that their highly respected leaders are conspiring to cheat them out of truly representative government. After all, our leaders are constantly singing the praises of representative government. They tell us that the citizens are sovereign, voters control national policies, and any suggestion to the contrary is ridiculous.
Yep, they get you to when you say, "Hey, two sides of the same coin," and that all these people are like control opposition and all these different things. Oh, conspiracy, conspiracy, conspiracy. Listen, people, this conspiracy thing is getting even bigger. All right, they're getting to the point now. Even if you say anything about everything, is getting editorialized. Everything. Anytime you say something about CV, anytime you say anything about the election, anytime you say what's in it, and again, you have to fact check the fact checkers. All right, you got to fact check the fact checkers. These people that are the so-called fact checkers, who are they? Who funds them? Who made them the authority of the facts? Why do all the facts seem to go only in one direction? But again, people don't ask those questions, because if you ask those questions, you're a crackpot, you're crazy, you're a conspiracy theorist, you're all these things. And again, most people aren't built for that, man. They don't want to be ostracized. They don't want to be called crazy. They don't want to be the tinfoil hat person, all those things. But like I said, man, we know here, come here shortly, bro. Within the next 5 to 10 years, if not beforehand, all the stuff we're talking about is going to be brought to light. And by then, it's going to be way too late. Everybody that's getting that poke, you're getting that poke now, and then 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, you see motherfuckers start all of a sudden, coming out with these mysterious and crazy fucking diseases or whatnot, what have you. All these people start dropping like flies. Then what? Again, man, y'all are volunteering for this stuff. Hey, more power to you. But yeah, let me see something real quick. Somebody said something. Y'all was talking about the thing. Here we go. Conversation with Concrete. They're probably already behind the 8 ball when they got the 10K. They probably owe everyone when they get their taxes. That's not an excuse. That's not my problem. They need to be more they need to spend their money better, Concrete Rose. You need to spend their money better. You're literally getting blood from a rock. That's what people that abuse welfare. And again, I'm not saying old people or people that are down on their luck and all these different things and whatnot. Everybody needs help for a time, but there should literally be, if you are below the age of like retirement age, you should have a 3-year limit of child support. I'm not child support. That's a whole nother thing. You should have a 3-year limit of government assistance. You should. 3-year limit. And also, like I said, the whole keep having kids thing to keep getting it. Nope. You should put a cap on that shit too. Hey, if you continue to have children after this, you on your own. You having them, we're not gonna pay you for it. You can't keep reinforcing negative stuff with positive. You know what I'm saying? You can't reinforce negative behavior with positive reactions. That's what's happening. Well, yeah, poor is a mindset. You're right. Nah, Concrete Rose. Well, that's what I don't know about that one. Like I said, man, I know I have seen several women of generations back in good old Macon go 18 years, 3 generations now. 3 generations go on fucking government assistance slash welfare. Shout out to LA Divine, bro. Yep. Everyone I know been section 8 3 generations deep. Yeah, listen, man, I'm telling you. telling you, man, it's quite sad. But Concrete Rose is right. Poverty is a mindset.
After a lifetime of being fed this version of reality, the idea of a global conspiracy to destroy national sovereignty, involving both government and government advisors, is understandably difficult to accept. But the greatest weapon against knee-jerk disbelief often comes directly from the conspirators themselves. For instance, Arnold J. Toynbee, a high-ranking member of the network, left little doubt when he wrote, "I will hereby repeat that we are at present working discreetly but with all of our might to wrest this mysterious political force called sovereignty out of the clutches of the local national states of the world. And all the time we are denying with our lips what we are doing with our hands." As quickly discovered, the Council on Foreign Relations, or CFR, is nothing more than a front group for the network. This being the case, its position on national sovereignty is predictable. Here are a few choice quotes from CFR members taken from Dishonest Money, Financing the Road to Ruin, page 69. "The House of World Order will have to be built from the bottom up rather than from the top down. An end run around national sovereignty, eroding it piece by piece, will accomplish much more than the old-fashioned frontal assault." CFR member Richard Gardner. "We shall have world government, whether or not we like it. The question is only whether world government will be achieved by consent or by conquest." CFR member James Paul Warburg. "Some dilution of the sovereignty system as it prevails in the world today must take place, to the immediate disadvantage of those nations which now possess the preponderance of power. The United States must be prepared to make sacrifices in setting up a world politico-economic order." CFR member Foster Dulles. Admiral Chester Ward, a longtime CFR member who later became a harsh critic, summed up the prevailing goal of the CFR this way, quote, "The submergence of U.S. sovereignty and national independence into an all-powerful one-world government." Again, this policy toward national sovereignty shouldn't come as a surprise. The CFR is simply a creation of the network,
And again, man, listen, all this stuff, these are quotes from individuals from that organization. All of these things, man, World Health Organization, Council of Foreign Relations, United Nations, all this stuff, bro, all of this stuff, they're just front groups, man, being controlled with all one plan, a one world government, man. The new world order shit is real. It's not fake. It's plenty of supporting data and proof out there for it in the plans of it.
and as such, it was created to help the network achieve its goals. And though the CFR is just one of many instruments in the network's arsenal, it is among the most powerful. Even though CFR members constitute only about 0.0015% of the U.S. population, they have held, and currently hold, an inexplicably high percentage of the most influential positions in our society. Almost all of America's leadership has come from this small group. That includes presidents and their advisors, cabinet members, ambassadors, board members of the Federal Reserve System, directors of the largest banks and investment houses, presidents of universities, and heads of metropolitan newspapers, news services, and TV networks. Now, before moving on, it's worth mentioning one additional and extremely important reason why the network sought to regain control of the United States. Just as the British government became a powerful instrument in the network's toolbox, the United States offered an even greater opportunity. By seizing control of U.S. foreign policy, the network could now access the untapped military, economic, and political resources of America. It could use those resources to continue what's best described as its sovereignty destruction project. As an added bonus, it could chain the political consequences and inescapable debt to the United States. And that's exactly what it's done. For instance, since it was founded in 1947, the CIA, a creation of the network, has been used to destabilize and topple dozens of uncooperative nations covertly, while the U.S. military, controlled by policymakers that are dominated by the network, has been used to topple dozens directly. Again, the costs and blowback accrue to the United States. The benefits go to the network. True, the United States does enjoy the benefit of appearing supremely powerful, but this is only a cruel joke. When the network is satisfied that all major obstacles to its unelected rule have been removed, it will be a simple matter to destroy the U.S. dollar, justifiably cut off the flow of money and credit to the United States, and create the political incentive, or necessity, for the United States to fully enter the new global system.
Again, man, it's all about the money. Shout out to Nick Taylor in the building. Yeah, they got a lot of them chocolate. They got a lot of chocolate, chocolate back home in Macon, man. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so the American dollar, man. Listen, all of this stuff that the new administration is suggesting. Listen, bro, this is what's going to pretty much destroy the dollar, man. If the dollar makes it through these 4 years, it will literally be a miracle. For these plans and these programs they have planned to happen, we're already at what, 26? Is it 26 trillion, or is it 20? Did it go up again? We're at $26 trillion in debt. Now, hey, Fatal Dose, no problem, man. I'm trying to help young brothers so so they ain't gotta go do it the hard way like I did. That's what this whole thing is about. But listen, we're already at $26 trillion deficit, right? So what people don't realize about what President Trump was trying to do and working it in with the current thing, where they had all the, all the extra foreign aid and BS programs, the one where they said, oh, they said my audio level went down. Let me see. Let me see what happened. Am I good? Andrew Yang and UBI. Was that the same one with AOC, Doug? Was that the same one with AOC? Is my audio good now? Put a one if my audio's straight. Put a one if my audio's straight. Okay, cool. All right. Um, yeah. So this whole thing about UBI is BS, man. Oh, okay. Well, no, that's because I'm playing the sound through the thing, Nick. So it's gonna be a whole lot louder with the when I'm playing the actual video. So let me see. Let me turn this thing up. Let's see. Let me check my audio real quick. Oh shit. Let me see something real quick. No, it's good. See. No, I say it's already up, so it's crazy. I don't know. It's crazy back. All right. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's on my side, but fuck it. We good. So either way, like I was saying, um, what was I saying? What was I saying? What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So the 26 trillion, that's what President Trump was trying to do. So he was trying to work it in with the whole 2000 or 1600 or whatever it was going to be that he was proposing, versus doing this right here. Because what they did was they gave you $600 each, right, per person or whatnot, what have you. And now you're going to turn around again and give another one. Was it 1400 to make it to 2000? Well, you could have worked all that into there and shorted the rest of the world. All right. For whatever reason, especially when it comes to spending money, bro. Listen, I don't give a damn how much I love my neighbor. Okay. I don't give a damn how much I care about my neighbor that doesn't have to be my mama, my sister, immediate family, whatnot, what have you. If I am starving, if I am broke, if I am struggling, there's no way I'm going to take a substantial amount out of my salary to give to my neighbor. That's what the United States has been doing. Same thing when it comes to the military. But even though the military is a little bit deeper than that, I won't really get into it, at least not for now. We'll get to that later. But this whole thing, man, like I said, and there's opposing all this stuff. Oh, and the $15 minimum wage. Listen, bro, if you guys cannot see, and this is why they do not teach economics anymore. This is why they don't do it, because they taught you economics. People would not, bro. Socialism will be the last thing you ever wanted to fucking cosign. It does not work. It has never worked. It cannot work. You're literally pulling fucking money out of thin air and giving it to people for nothing. You have to get paid for productivity. All right. When you pay people just to sit on their ass, everybody goes broke. And then you make the people that are producing products say, well, shit, why the hell am I going to keep doing this if you're going to pay this motherfucker to do nothing? And then you're taxing the small businesses or hampering the small businesses by forcing a minimum wage hike. Listen, bro, I said this, I don't know how many times. You do not deserve to get paid $15 to work at fucking McDonald's. Okay? Because the only people that are going to get the pay raise, the pay hike, are the lower tier people. That's the only people that's going to get the raise. The doctor is not going to get his fucking pay increased by what? So let's see. Minimum wage right now is what? Let me see what the minimum wage is. Anybody know what the minimum wage is off top of the head? I'm going to Google it. real quick. Let me see. So $7.25 per hour. So, bro, you're literally going to double. You're going to double the fucking salary, bro. You're going to double the salary of minimum wage workers. Do you understand what it's going to do to a small business owner? There's going to be more job loss and more business and more businesses killed. But again, because people keep listening to this socialist bullshit and people have this is why you have to get people to buy in to the welfare mind state, the entitlement mind state. It works in favor of socialism because people, oh yeah, man, I can just get this money to sit on my ass and do nothing. Hell yeah, I'm with it. Yeah, pay me to do nothing. Pay me. Not understanding that, hey man, there is no free lunch. Somebody has to pay for this shit. And eventually, like I said, if they're paying you to do nothing, ultimately everybody's gonna have to fucking pay. Because you go broke. And again, man, America is not ready for that. America is not ready for the fucking dollar to collapse. You're just not, man. This is why, like I said, there should be no, and I think one of the best things that the NRA did was fucking get the fuck out of New York and they're moving straight to Texas. Bro, if you give up your guns, you are a lunatic. Because I can tell you this. If and when the dollar collapses and the dollar is no longer the reserve currency of the world, you're going to see shit you never, ever, you could have imagined in the United States. You hear me? You're going to need as much protection as you possibly can. The last person you want to be is a motherfucker that ain't got no guns. And this ammo shortage too, bro. That shit is contrived. It ain't just no fucking happenstance that, oh, everybody's out of ammo, no, bro. But on that note, like I said, bro, if you got the link to the ammo, bro, nigga, fuck stocks, fuck Bitcoin, bro. If you got a plug for ammo, man, you be making a killing right now. I went to go get some ammo, for a friend, of course, not myself, because I lost all my firearms. All my firearms were stolen, so I was inquiring for a friend about ammunition. And bro, they were selling the ammo for $100 a box. Bro, they were selling ammo for $100 a box. Ammo that usually goes to like, I think maybe 40, 50. All this shit is just like telling you, man, they're corralling the fucking sheep into the fucking, into the gates. So it's easier for the slaughter, man. But hey, go right ahead. Yeah, man. If you got the plug for the ammo, man, I'll invest in the business. Holla at me.
Obviously, none of the network's actions to this point, and none of its future plans, would have been possible without first seizing the levers of power in the United States. So for now, let's return to the two men who made that possible. A willing and deceptive servant. An unattractive and physically average man stands, alone and depressed, beneath an oak tree at the prestigious West Point Military Academy. It's graduation day. In the distance, his peers, the class of 1920, anxiously await their chance to lead the Army and the free world into the 20th century. The President of the United States, his Secretary of Defense, and other distinguished guests are in attendance to honor the occasion. And this adds to what most see as an already intoxicating atmosphere. All are filled with excitement and a sense of purpose. All but the man who stands beneath the oak. Unlike his peers, he's paid attention to the world around him. He's studied the insidious influence of unrestrained wealth tearing at the fabric of the nation. Even the Army itself had become little more than a prostitute in recent decades, forced to serve the interests of those who had accumulated riches beyond all bounds of need. He quietly dreams of a much-to-be-desired state of society, built upon the tenets of, quote, socialism as dreamed of by Karl Marx. Our hero, a masterly man of prodigious intellect, resolves to hasten a revolutionary adjustment of U.S. society. But before he can fix the republic, he must first destroy it. He must overthrow the government, declare himself dictator, and shred that obsolete and vulgar document on which the republic was founded, the U.S. Constitution.
Again, man, this is all in the book written down for you to read. It's proof of this. It's not a conspiracy theory. This is not some crackpot ideology. This isn't a fucking a fairy tale. This isn't a story. This can all be read. It's out there. All right. The Constitution is the last thing in the way. And right now, like I said, especially if they were able to do the thing as to where they start packing these courts or whatnot, what have you, bro, we're going to see a change for the absolute worst for this country that, man, I can't even call it. If there's a vote put up for the changes to the First Amendment or Second Amendment, I'm just going to say this. There should definitely be something done by the public. The public should have a say in that. Congress should not just be able to unilaterally vote off anything, okay? It should not. It should not be able to do it. Should not be able to do it because I'm telling you, that's going to happen for the First and Second Amendment, bro. Once the first two amendments are gone, everything else doesn't even matter. There's a reason why it came in that order. They understood that. You have the freedom of speech. The freedom of speech is also the freedom of thought. You have to be able to say and call out the bullshit because if you can't speak and say something, that's what happens in dictatorships. That's what happens in fucking monarchies. You can't say anything against the king. You can't say anything against the ruler. You can't say anything against the tyrant. If you say anything, they make your ass disappear. Or you get locked up or not, what have you. And then, of course, like I said, in order to, like they said, to tell you this, if the fucking government tries to become tyrannical or dictatorship or all this shit to where they're running the people and they're not working for the people, that's what the Second Amendment is for. The Constitution says this. So that it isn't any type of, again, radicalism. It isn't any type of extremism. It is in the Constitution for a reason. The people that put it in place understood what they came from. And America was never supposed to go back into that. But they're telling you right here that the people that were over there, the network, knew the whole way that America is in the way. If you have one free place, you can never have world domination. Even if the whole world tries to come together against one, no, it's gonna be other people that chooses a side for freedom because they don't want to be under fucking tyranny. You don't want to be ruled. You don't want to be dictated. You want to be able to do what you want to do. And you're seeing that now in all of these lockdowns, man, bro. You're literally having worldwide rebellions and riots over this lockdown bullshit, over this mask bullshit, bro. Bro, this mask shit is a fraud. It just is. It doesn't do anything. But again, like I keep telling you, man, it's just a test for the people to see just how far you can push the people, just how many sheep you have. Bro, I see people driving in their car, just them alone with a fucking mask on. That's why I refuse to even buy a mask. I keep the fucking little bullshit throwaway mask. That's what I keep. And that's only when I have to absolutely motherfucking wear it, like if I'm getting food or some shit. This everything, bro, and this is elementary level science. Elementary level science. We got to you have people pushing the bullshit, man. Like,
He alone will decide the laws of the nation. He will ensure the desires of the people are better met. Unless, of course, some of the people desire to resist his edicts. There will be no representation for them. They'll be put to death. Likewise, the exercise of free speech against the dictator's policies will not be tolerated. Now, if you were reading this book rather than listening to it, you would have noticed multiple footnotes that reference another book entitled Philip Drew, Administrator. It's a novel originally published anonymously in 1912. Why reference this novel, you ask? Because we can learn a great deal about the willing and deceptive servant, Edward Mandell House, from the book's anti-American message. To briefly recap, Philip Drew, Administrator, is a tale of an intellectually superior man who conspires to overthrow the U.S. government, assume dictatorial powers, and pave the way for socialism as dreamed of by Karl Marx. Our good-hearted hero...
Again, man, remember that book, Philip Drew, the Administrator? And of course, who's it inspired by? Fucking Marx, bro. again, when fucking McCarthy was going through wreaking havoc on everybody that was a fucking communist, is a reason why they tried to. He was a racist. He was a this. He was a that. He was all this other shit, bro. But again, this is why, bro. Sometimes, like Rebel Zoe said, bro, I don't give a damn about the KKK, bro. I don't care. They can say as many niggas as they want to. I don't give a fuck. People are gonna say it anyway. What people don't understand, man, is by restricting any type of speech, once you start getting into this hate speech bullshit, who determines what's hate speech? You got there's a reason why, and again, they're literally doing this on purpose. And like I said, man, you know, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That was a colloquialism said to you that, hey, man, you have to have the confidence within yourself to be like, fuck what you got to say. If you know it's a lie, or if it's some negative shit, fuck you. I don't have to listen to your opinion. Opinions are like assholes. People don't even say that anymore. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these things, man, go away for a reason. Because if you let that little ember survive, it turns into what? It turns into a whole motherfucking forest fire. People don't understand it. It's why I keep telling you, man, the further you get away from the source of something, the harder it is for it to be remembered. Okay? Yeah, Young Swift, that's some bullshit, man. I see them playing, bro. They got people wearing fucking masks during actual college basketball games. Man, that shit is bananas. That shit is dumb as fuck.
Concludes, along with other characters in the book, that the people are simply incapable of determining their own best interests. As such, a revolutionary adjustment of their government, whether they like it or not, is necessary. The hero and his fellow conspirators set out to remake the United States as they see fit, and they succeed. If you haven't already guessed, Philip Drew Administrator was written by none other than Edward Mandell House himself. In the book, House argues that dictatorship is necessary because the rich and powerful have taken control, and they're using their power against the poor and less fortunate. To understand how shamefully cynical this is, consider the fact that House's propaganda was meant to strengthen, not weaken, the same rich and powerful individuals that his book condemned. A quick side note here. This is one of the most common tactics employed by the network for manipulating public opinion. It will point to an injustice, often caused by the network itself, whip up an emotional firestorm, and at the peak of hysteria, offer a solution that furthers its own agenda. Maybe this is why House published his novel anonymously. It'd be pretty hard to hook readers with his fight the elite storyline if they knew the author was one of the first kingmakers in modern American politics. In any event, the book is worth reading, not for its entertainment value, it isn't well written, but because it's a short read that provides many insights into how easily a handful of men can manipulate a democratic system of government. Some notable examples include how a senator can pretend to represent the citizens who voted for him while actually representing the special interests that he was elected to fight, page 35. How kingmakers, before throwing their weight behind a candidate, ensure that the indebted candidate will choose advisors from the kingmaker's approved list, page 38. If a puppet official gets out of line, how to bring them back under control. Use the press to attack them and have other powerful government puppets do the same, page 46. How to use the regulatory power of government to collect tributes and funnel tax money.
And again, man, that was the problem with President Trump. President Trump couldn't be motherfucking bullied, bro. He couldn't be brought back under control. That's why, man, I hate niggas. I really do. It's so emotional, man, that they could not see that, again, this man was pretty much the last chance for American fucking sovereignty and freedom to exist. Seriously. And I'm not a Republican, I'm not a conservative, no MAGA, no none of this shit. I don't even give I don't have any political affiliation. But you guys listen to the media that's controlled by the same network. Even you was talking about how Fox News started turning against him, bro, because again, there's much bigger people at play here. He gave you hint after hint after hint. Very dark forces at work here. Very dark forces. Again, like I said, I know y'all don't fuck with the Bible, but Ephesians 6:12, whether you believe in the, God or Jesus, whoever, whatnot, what have you, the words themselves still hold truth. Okay? Put aside the religion, put aside, God and everybody else and whatever, but just even on the words at the face value, man, those things hold true. evil and wickedness in high places. This is factual. It's not no made up bullshit. It's like this is documented, bro. You can go look all these people up. Cecil Rhodes, Mandel House, all these people, and see the quotes and the things that they said and their plans and all this shit.
Into companies you choose, how to be generous with other people's money, and use that generosity to strengthen your hold on political power. Page 94. The book even takes a few contemptuous shots at the electorate itself. For instance, when describing one of the major instruments that's used to manipulate elected officials, we learn that the press can, quote, make or destroy a man's legislative and political career, and the weak and the vain and the men with shifty consciences that the people in their fatuous indifference elect to make their laws seldom fail to succumb to this subtle influence. Page 120. As already mentioned, House himself was a kingmaker. His connections to the network gave him the power to make or break aspiring politicians, and he exercised this power with great skill. Prior to turning his attention to the national stage, House is credited with helping 4 different candidates secure the governorship of Texas. But, of all the kings that House managed to make, none paid better dividends than Woodrow Wilson. Carefully selected and manipulated, House used Wilson to create the 2 essential funding mechanisms for the network's revolutionary adjustment of U.S. society. More specifically, prior to the election of Woodrow Wilson, the network did not possess the power to tax U.S. citizens' income or control the nation's money supply. Wilson signed both of these powers into existence shortly after he took office. More than anything, this enabled House and the network to turn the United States away from sovereignty and toward servitude.
And again, listen to this. Be extremely, and I'm going to slow it down just so we can, because we need to hear this. I'll slow this down just a little bit for this one, right? Now watch the same thing happen once the new administration starts. And I'm telling you, everything has to do with the ruining of the American economy and the destruction of the American dollar. And because you have pretty much addicted Americans to the welfare mind state and gotten to buy into socialism, man, again, it's about to get rough, bro. It's about to get rough. I think they were projecting the end of black wealth by, they said it was supposed to be 2050 something. But how about this though? I can tell you this, I can promise you this one. The instant that the US dollar, if and when it's ever removed as a reserve currency, that will be the simultaneous end of the beginning of black people being a permanent underclass in the world. 2053. Appreciate y'all. Listen to what I'm telling you. The minute and the second that the American dollar is no longer the reserve currency of the world, that will be the beginning and start date of America being a permanent underclass. If you out here using that stimulus check to, ball out, throw money in the club, buy rims, Gucci belts, Don Julio 1942, all of that good shit. You don't got no investments, you don't got no property, you don't have anything other than just your job, no other no multiple streams of income. I'm sorry for you. And don't come to my door because again, it's not gonna be a pleasant surprise. This isn't fear mongering people. This isn't what's the name again. This is a plan. I'm telling you this. It's all here. You go look at Tragedy and Hope itself. Also, the administrator. All these things, bro. This stuff is all documented, telling you the plans. This is as close as they're going to get. And now they have the perfect candidate that, certain things happen. A lot of things were overlooked to get him here. Why? Bought and paid for already. That's already been proven. Without a doubt. No doubt about it.
Professor Thomas J. Knock provides this keen insight into the relevance of House's book, Philip Drew, Administrator. Philip Drew deserves serious attention, if only for the prophetic self-exposition of its author. Clearly, House's driving ambition in life was to influence the course of history. To an extent, he succeeded. He was right on the mark when he wrote, "I was like a disembodied spirit seeking a corporeal form. I found my opportunity in Woodrow Wilson." Woodrow Wilson, a well-meaning dupe. Before the network chooses a candidate for a particular job, that candidate must be carefully screened. This obviously isn't a problem for those who have intelligence agencies and other investigative resources at their disposal. A vast amount of personal information can be easily collected on any individual. And if the individual looks promising, a recruiter, like Mandel House, will know exactly what buttons to push to entice and/or manipulate the new recruit. To say that Wilson must have looked very promising to the network would be a colossal understatement. He had demonstrated loyalty to the ideals of global government and socialism, as well as contempt for the U.S. Constitution, long before House selected him for the presidency. In his book, To End All Wars, Woodrow Wilson in the Quest for a New World Order, Thomas J. Knock, a supporter of Wilson, provides a detailed look into Wilson's mind. The similarities between Wilson and the so-called hero and Philip Drew administrator are very disturbing. Assuming the network sought to establish a centralized world government, they could have hardly found a better advocate than Woodrow Wilson. As early as 1887, Wilson had written of a confederation of empires and expressed his agreement with the central idea behind state socialism. That idea, he wrote, is that no line can be drawn between private and public affairs which the state may not cross at will. It is very clear that in fundamental theory, socialism and democracy are almost, if not quite, one and the same.
And again, man, glad to get big on that too, bro. The whole private versus public, that shit right here is going to become one of the most valuable things ever. Come here soon. I'm looking into a lot of stuff with for myself, trying to get as much knowledge about that as I possibly can, because man, I'm telling you, a lot of this stuff, bro. If you're accepting all of these government programs and all this free money and all this other stuff, bro, that gives them the right to motherfucking pretty much control your life. All right, that social security number. There's a lot of stuff behind this shit, man. And they make, if you talk, people talk about sovereignty and sovereign citizen and all this other stuff, bro. But it's gonna be something you definitely have to look into.
In Wilson's opinion, the U.S. government needed to move toward centralized socialist control and unlimited power in order to stop, quote, the aggrandizement of giant corporations that threaten to swallow up not only individuals and small businesses, but democratic government itself. Wilson went on to condemn selfish, misguided individualism and proclaimed, we ought all to regard ourselves as socialists. He saw that concentrated and unaccountable power had enabled the rich and strong to combine against the poor and weak, and it was high time for government to lay aside timidity and make itself an agency for social reform as well as political control. Each of these arguments is nearly identical to those offered by House's fictional hero, but unlike House, who used the arguments deceptively to justify seizing greater power, Wilson probably believed that his solutions would weaken the monopolistic forces he spoke out against. And if so, this made Wilson much more valuable to the network than the typical insincere politician who'd say anything in exchange for a paycheck and some power. Wilson would openly and passionately build for the network what it could never openly build for itself. But if these aspects of Wilson's personality and ideology were not enough, there was one final asset that the network could exploit. Woodrow Wilson was a man of towering arrogance and hypocrisy. He had no aversion to the creation of imperial power, provided it was directed by the right people. People like himself, no doubt. And provided it was used for the right reasons, also to be determined by the same group. In the case of the United States, he stated, quote, I believe that God planted in us visions of liberty, that we are chosen to show the way to the nations of the world how they shall walk in the paths of liberty. As with most politicians, when Wilson uses the pronoun we, as in we are chosen, he would have been more honest to use the pronoun I. More to the point, he felt that God had chosen him to secure global liberty by force. And there's at least one reference provided by Sigmund Freud where Wilson drops all rhetorical subterfuge, quote, God ordained that I should be the next president of the United States. Neither you nor any other mortal or mortals could have prevented it. Additional quotes further clarify the strength of Wilson's ego. For instance, in his confidential journal, he wrote, quote, why may not the present generation write, through me, its political autobiography? In an address he gave as president, July 4, 1914, Wilson proclaimed that the role of the United States was to be, quote, the light which shall shine unto all generations and guide the feet of mankind to the goal of justice and liberty and peace. And to achieve this, Wilson generously pledged every dollar of America's wealth, every drop of her blood, and all the energy of her people. Even Henry Kissinger took aim at Wilson's conceit. He said, quote, in Wilson's view, there was no essential difference between freedom for America and freedom for the world. He developed an extraordinary interpretation of what George Washington had really meant when he warned against foreign entanglements. Wilson redefined foreign in a way that would surely have astonished the first president. What Washington meant, according to Wilson, was that America must avoid becoming entangled in the purposes of others. But Wilson argued nothing that concerns humanity can be foreign or indifferent to us. Hence, America had an unlimited charter to involve itself abroad. What extraordinary conceit to derive a charter for global intervention from a founding father's injunction against foreign entanglements, and to elaborate a philosophy of neutrality that made involvement in war inevitable. Wilson's desire to create a global power structure that no nation or probable combination of nations could resist, coupled with his Messiah complex, provided the perfect psychological ingredients for turning the man into a useful idiot. Cervanto Gonzalez summed up the final equation perfectly when he wrote, "Wilson was a man intoxicated with the sense of his own importance and historical relevance, and as such, he could be easily manipulated by a trained intelligence officer, like Edward Mandell House." The evidence suggests that this is exactly what happened. The network had no reason to reveal itself or its New World Order plans to Wilson. Rather, it had every reason to let him believe the crusade for global government was his idea, his divine purpose, to make the world safe for democracy. In his book, The New Freedom, Woodrow Wilson spoke out against a shadowy monopolistic power that was exercising undue influence in the United States. He warned his readers, quote, "Since I entered politics, I have chiefly had men's views confided to me privately. Some of the biggest men in the United States, in the field of commerce and manufacture, are afraid of somebody, are afraid of something. They know that there is a power somewhere so organized, so subtle, so watchful, so interlocked, so complete, so pervasive, that they had better not speak above their breath when they speak in condemnation of it." How ironic that the same organized, watchful, and pervasive power is what put Woodrow Wilson in the White House. And this brings us to another very important part of the story. Assuming we accept the fact that Wilson was a dupe, cynically used by the network to further its already established agenda, we still haven't addressed the most impressive swindle of all, that the network successfully duped millions of Americans into electing him in the first place. The election deception. Few voters ever
Sound familiar? How coincidental. Sound familiar.
stop to consider the way in which they initially meet their choices for president. If a strange man were to knock on their door and say, "I'm running for president of the United States," there's almost zero chance they'd view him as a legitimate candidate. However, if they meet the exact same stranger through one of the network's main propaganda instruments, such as radio, print, or television, suddenly the reaction is very different. Suddenly, the stranger deserves a serious look. This is what Bernays referred to as one of the most firmly established principles of mass psychology, and the network applies the principle masterfully. Essentially, it's this. The vast majority of people accept the idea that credible individuals and organizations should be trusted to do their reasoning for them. In the case of elections, the public trusts the so-called...
There's that name again, Edward Bernays. Again, man, Edward Bernays tells you in A Century of Self that propaganda was the pretty much transferred to the term public relations. Because propaganda had a stigma behind it, they couldn't call it propaganda. So what he changed it to was public relations. Edward Bernays was the nephew of Sigmund Freud. Edward Bernays asked Freud to send him his papers and all this stuff so he could understand human psychology. Edward Bernays literally fucking like molded the control mechanism of not only commercial advertisement, but modern day politics for America. That's why I keep telling black people, bro, you have to become, at the very least, bro, the basis of psychology. If you have a basic understanding of psychology, man, it's not that easy for you to be finessed. It's not that easy for you to be fucking led astray. It's not that easy for you to be hoodwinked and bamboozled by the bullshit. But this shit that we just seen over this election, man, is just proof. And again, when LBJ said, "I have these niggas voting Democrat for 200 years," he knew it because he understood the propaganda fucking machine that had already been put in place way back then, and the ignorance of black people to psychology to embed it in them, bro. Black people never understood two things that the black people never understood, and it's the worst things ever to hurt you the most in the American society: politics and economics. Without those two understandings, man, as long as you keep the people ignorant of that, and what's the thing of choice to keep people ignorant, keep them sidetracked, keep them occupied with racism, 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 racism. Then you bring the fucking communists, the socialists, the Marxists in to keep reminding them of racism, 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 racism. Then you prop up black organizations and or individuals, i.e. Black Panther Party, i.e. Martin Luther King Jr., i.e. Black Lives Matter, racism, 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 racism. Meanwhile, every other fucking demographic has came here after you and surpassed you. Asians, past niggas. Arabs, past niggas. Indians, past niggas. Even Africans, you know, the place from slavery that you niggas got stole from, and you always go talk about slavery. Africans come here, past niggas.
Called credible media to narrow the field down to the top-tier candidates. A political sideshow ensues, and at the end, voters choose who they'd prefer to have in office. But their choice isn't what they perceive it to be. Sure, they are technically choosing who they prefer, but they're choosing from a list of candidates that was chosen for them. Sadly, the sleight of hand works just as well today as it did 100 years ago. And unless this concept becomes widely understood, it'll work 100 years from now as well. Returning to Bernays from his book, Propaganda, quote, "Political campaigns today are all sideshows, all honors, all bombast, glitter, and speeches. These are, for the most part, unrelated to the main business of studying the public scientifically, of supplying the public with party, candidate, platform, and selling the public these ideas and products." In short, without the network's backing, a candidate will remain a relative nobody in the election. They'll be relegated to begging door to door for enough money to run an almost meaningless advertising campaign. However, with network backing, the candidate can count on millions of dollars in campaign donations, a long list of credible endorsements, and a nearly priceless amount of exposure through the network's propaganda instruments. In the unlikely event that a truly independent candidate emerges with enough money or a large enough following to gain some ground, the network will simply use its instruments to smear and ostracize the candidate and the candidate's supporters. Now, to be clear, this isn't to suggest that the network-backed candidates are necessarily involved in the election deception. President of the United States is a job title that fewer than 45 men have held at the time of publication of this book. The desire to join the ranks of such an exclusive club, with all of its attendant perks, is undoubtedly very real. The candidates might even genuinely disagree with a few positions held by their opponents. In fact, it's even better if they do. The meaningless bickering between them and the partisan hysteria it incites among the public only adds to the overall illusion of voter choice. But on the issues that matter most to the network, each sponsored candidate is virtually identical in value. The beauty of the system is its simplicity. The network scouts potential talent, performs the necessary background checks, and after conveying its expectations, offers its vital assistance to a handful of candidates. After some bombast, glitter, and speeches, the public chooses from the products, party, candidate, and platform, that were put before them. Now, let's quickly expand a little on how and why the network ousted incumbent President William Howard Taft and installed Woodrow Wilson. Summary of the 1912 coup. The 1912 election presented an incredible opportunity for the network. Although William Howard Taft had served the conspirators well by openly entertaining the idea of relinquishing U.S. sovereignty and supporting the network's long-sought funding mechanism, the income tax, he failed to support the one measure that was more important than all others. He refused to support Nelson Aldrich's plan to hand the nation's money supply over to the network through the creation of a central bank. Since the central bank was necessary to truly dominate the United States, Taft's rejection of the Aldrich plan constituted a major transgression. But there was a remedy, and that remedy's name was Woodrow Wilson. Wilson had done more than openly entertain the idea of relinquishing national sovereignty. He developed a near-fanatical obsession with the idea. There would be no problem getting him to passionately evangelize the New World Order on behalf of the network. It would also be no problem getting Wilson to sign the network's income tax scam into law. The income tax was sold as a way to punish the rich and enrich the poor. In reality, the tax simply extracts money from U.S. citizens and dumps it directly into the network's project.
And again, man, what do we come to find out? Rich people don't pay taxes. Why don't rich people pay taxes? Because rich people understand tax law, and rich people understand how to use money as the tool that it's supposed to be used as. Whenever people talk about welfare and all this other shit for big businesses, no, it's really not welfare, man. A tax break or a person not fucking paying taxes on something when they're creating all the workers for the country to tax, that is what it is. They're rewarding the fucking producers of workers, the income, the people that get income, that make income. That's why they don't get taxed. That's why they get tax breaks and all this other bullshit. But again, like I said, what you do is you make the proletariat or whatnot go against the bourgeois, the common folks against the elite. And then the whole time you're helping the elite out. And due to the fact of that, the lowly people don't understand money and or tax law, you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, because then you show them, AOC with the bullshit about like Amazon and whatnot, what have you, people not understanding what the fuck that was. She's further helping solidify their grip on the fucking money and over you paying more money in taxes. People don't understand that, man. The deferment of income tax over the last couple of months that the president enacted, right? One of the biggest things that he said, hey, man, y'all reelect me, I'll just go ahead and, make it not deferment. That's what it was. What is it? It wasn't because deferment is, damn, what do you call it when they shit, I can't think of it. But either way, he would have turned it to where like he eliminated pretty much the taxes that you had to be paid. Oh, let me make sure you can say something. Let me see. Fatal dose. Oh shit. There we go. Hey, hop in whenever you want to, man. Fatal dose. You can unmute, bro, if you want to. You there? Fatal dose?
Yeah, I'm here, man. What's up?
I bet. Okay. All right. So what is it when it's deferment, and what's the other joint? I can't find the term right now. I can't. Furlough. Yeah. Furlough. Yeah. All right, bet. Appreciate it, Nate Taylor. Yeah. So the furlough and turn it into like a complete deferment where you wouldn't have had to pay it back. But people was like, fuck that. So now, especially because they made it automatically in the military, pretty much now you're gonna be texted like, a time and a half to make up for that the deferment that they gave you for the last, I think it was 3-4 months. But now they said they were going to spread it out over 12 months versus try to get it back in the same amount of time. So that will help some. A forbearance. Yeah, that's what it was. Forbearance. Appreciate you, Silent Sir. That's what it was. Forbearance. So turn the forbearance into a deferment. We're pretty much like it's done.
X in pockets. Last, but certainly not least, control of the nation's money supply would be far easier to secure with Wilson in the White House. For one reason, Wilson admitted that he really didn't understand central banking, and this was very convenient. The network could provide all the right advisors, steering the creation of the so-called Federal Reserve System from start to finish. Another reason the central bank would be easier to secure under Wilson is because the entire issue had been successfully framed in partisan terms. That is, a previous central bank plan had been put forward by Republican Senator Nelson Aldrich. Since everyone knew that Aldrich was a business insider, the legislation was shot down by Democrats when it bore his name. For this, the Democrats were largely seen as having protected the little guy from another big business Republican scheme. With the people convinced that the Democrats had protected them, any alternative central bank plan put forward under a Democratic administration would rouse far less suspicion. The network could simply drop the name Aldrich, wrap the legislation in some progressive rhetoric, and sell the exact same thing with Wilson and his Democratic administration acting as trusted pitchmen. Like the income tax, the central bank would be presented as a way to protect the people from the rich and powerful. In truth, it accomplished the exact opposite. A quick side note here. The central bank issue is so crucial to the network's plan for dominating the world that I've written an entire book on the subject. A sizable amount of the next chapter will be devoted to this topic. But for now, here's what Quigley said the network intended to create with its central banking power. Quote, "A world system of financial control in private hands able to dominate the political system of each country. The apex of the system was to be a private bank owned and controlled by the world's central banks which were themselves private corporations.
Shout out to Rubber Zoe for the 5, man. What's good, bro? Can't wait to be on another panel. Hey, most definitely, bro. Whatever, anytime. Shout out to Concrete Rose for the $5 super sticker. Thank you, sis. And shout out to my man Don McKee 90. In no way support this message. I in no way support this message. Book or people in the chat. I shout out to Don McKee, man. Hey, I don't blame you, bro.
Each central bank sought to dominate its government by its ability to control treasury loans, to manipulate foreign exchanges, to influence the level of economic activity in the country, and to influence cooperative politicians by subsequent economic rewards in the business world. As a quick reminder, this isn't a case of Quigley guessing at the network's intentions. He speaks with the authority of a man who, in his own words, knows of the operations of this network, because he, quote, studied it for 20 years and was permitted for 2 years in the early 1960s to examine its papers and secret records. So in comparing the Republican candidate, Taft, to the Democratic candidate, Wilson, there was no question who the network wanted more. The decision was made. Mandel House paid Wilson a visit, and the process of grooming Wilson for the presidency began. In November 1911, Wilson met Colonel Edward Mandel House, one of the first kingmakers in modern American politics. Almost from the first, the colonel later recalled, our minds vibrated in unison. Wilson concurred. Mr. House is my second personality. His thoughts and mine are one. James Perloff describes a follow-up meeting at the Democratic Party headquarters in New York. Wilson received an indoctrination course from the leaders convened there, during which he agreed in principle to do the following if elected. Support the projected Federal Reserve or central bank, support income tax, lend an ear to advice should war break out in Europe, lend an ear to advice on who should occupy his cabinet. House pulled.
Now, keep in mind, that was a precursor for what they already had planned as far as the war went. Okay? All this stuff is already pre-planned, bro. It's all there. You can go look it up and find this. This isn't conspiracy. This isn't fucking a theory. This isn't what you think. Again, bro, all this stuff, but the plans of these people is already written down somewhere and the proof of it. He was already telling this man before, and because he was so fucking self-centered, so narcissistic, and so much wanted to be, the leader of what he thought was something great. You just go along with anything, bro. And that's why you have to be careful about people being put in positions of power. A motherfucker that will do anything to have power, bro, that's the last person needs to be in charge.
All of the necessary strings to ensure the Democratic nomination for president went to Wilson. But as impressive as that level of influence might be, it's still a long way from actually putting a man in the White House. And unfortunately for the network, Taft was heavily favored to win against its preferred candidate. But not a problem. As luck would have it, the network found another potential candidate that it could run against Taft. Not just any candidate, mind you, but a former 2-term Republican president. Not just any 2-term Republican president, but the same one that Republican President Taft had just replaced in 1909, Teddy Roosevelt. This was a brilliant strategic move. The most obvious reason being, 10 months prior to the 1912 election, Roosevelt had expressed a willingness to support the Aldrich Plan. Therefore, whether Wilson or Roosevelt won, the network could get its central bank. But the most obvious reason isn't the only or best reason for why the network poured more than $10 million, inflation adjusted, into Roosevelt's campaign. Sure, Roosevelt was acceptable, but the network still preferred Wilson. And by splitting the vote, they could have him. Perloff explains. Polls showed incumbent President Taft as a clear favorite over the stiff-looking professor from Princeton. So, to divide the Republican vote, the network put money behind Teddy Roosevelt on the Progressive Party ticket. J.P. Morgan and Company was the financial backbone of the Roosevelt campaign. The strategy succeeded. Republican ballots were split between Taft and Roosevelt, and Woodrow Wilson became president with only 42% of the popular vote. The full results of the 1912 election were as follows. Wilson received 41.8% of the vote. Roosevelt received 27.4%, and Taft received only 23.2%. How is that for impressive? William Howard Taft, a man who would have handily won the election with a strong majority, wound up dead last in a 3-way race against 2 network-manufactured candidates. Edward Mandel House summed it up this way. Wilson was elected by Teddy Roosevelt. The rest, as they say, is history. After the election, House proceeded to fill the president's important cabinet positions with the best advisors the network had to offer. He guided Wilson's policy decisions like a disembodied spirit that had found its opportunity to shape the world with Wilson's hands. Before the end of 1913, the income tax would be law. Before the end of 1913, the central bank would be a reality. These new instruments provided the funding and leverage that the network needed to greatly accelerate its sovereignty destruction project. But they alone would not provide the greatest opportunity to capitalize on Wilson's evangelical crusade to make the world safe for democracy. Only a long and protracted world war, with funding guaranteed by the new instruments, could achieve that. Once again, as luck would have it, just such an opportunity presented itself shortly after Wilson took office. World War I provided the political impetus for the network's first major attempt at establishing a global government, the League of Nations. And although it wasn't as successful as they might have hoped, the League of Nations, along with all the other instruments that came into existence under Wilson, laid the foundation for all of the network's progress over the past 100 years.
All right, and that's that chapter for this one. All right, so let me stop that. There we go. All right, there we go. What's up, bro? What's going on? I see you just said something about the same thing they did to Bush in '92. You there? Let me see. That should be good. So, let's see. There we go. All right, fatal dose. You get in. Let me see. There you go.
My bad, bro. Helping my daughter with her homework.
Oh, my bad. No, okay. You can read it out. Okay, I can roll ahead. The links in the chat for anybody that wants to. They keep saying my volume's low. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Hold on, let me see something real quick. What the hell's up with my volume? Because I'm definitely on my end. Everything should be good. So
I can hear you fine, bro.
Yeah, they keep saying my volume. I think it's just in comparison to the thing, man. You gonna have a volume drop between me and the video because the video was like super loud as fuck. So I don't know. And I was playing the sound from the video, so it should be good. But either way, so pretty much, man. Oh, how time repeats itself, right? Listen, man. This is why they tell you, and I keep trying to reiterate this and reinforce it. Listen, those who don't, know history are damned to repeat it. It's a reason why they tell you that shit, man. All right? It's a reason why they tell you that. It's a major reason why they tell you that, man. If you don't know what happened before, when it happens all over again, you don't recognize what you're seeing. And the thing is, none of this shit is a new playbook. None of it. None of it's new. It's the same old shit. Because again, people don't go out here to get the information for what they need to see to know what the fuck is going on around them. Major decisions that control your whole life, bro. Because they convince you on some emotional bullshit. They tell you these people are the enemy. The rich people are out to get you. The rich people are against you. All this shit. Shout out to Bro 2 for the 2. Niggas doing too much thinking. Go play Madden. Telling you, man. Yeah, all this shit that happens, bro. It's out here, but people refuse to go find the information.
Yo, fantastic.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you're familiar with the Nuremberg trial, Hermann Goering explained it all. He said the way it works is with any government, it doesn't matter if it's a republic, a democracy, a fascist government, what you got to do is manufacture some kind of enemy for the people. Right, and in the case of the Nazis, they manufactured a specific group as the enemy, and then Europe as the enemy. But if you're trying to overthrow the country, you manufacture the left as the enemy of the right and the right as the enemy of the left. And then they just go at each other. It's a problem, reaction, solution, right? You have the left coming up with all these crazy ideas about free money and putting little kids in dress and, dudes with tits are women too. And then the right, who's against that, look at them as the enemy. And then you portray the right as Nazis and they're trying to kill black people and all of this. And then the left becomes their enemy. Now we're at each other's throat. And then they get whatever result they need out of it. That's all that is.
Yep. Shout out to John Henry Thoreau. Yep. Hegelian dialectic, bro. Like you said, this side against that side, constant enmity, but they're both working towards the same goal. And like you said, in the Nuremberg trials, all these other things, people don't even understand and realize, bro. A lot of those Nazi professors and evil people that were used to fucking, kill and exterminate people were brought to the United States, bro, and used to help build the pretty much American all types of fucking nuclear programs, space programs, all of those things, bro. All of it. They change these people's identities, and again, you can this is all stuff you can go look up for yourself. This isn't anything that's made up. This isn't just some conspiracy theory or none of this shit, bro. Again, all of this stuff you can look up, man. The Adolf Hitler was funded by central banks, man. The
Right.
same.
The my bad.
No, go ahead.
Nah, the Wahlbergs, Chase Manhattan Bank, Brown Brothers, Harriman, George Bush Sr.'s father, Prescott Bush, was one of the guys in charge of funneling money to Hitler. In fact, when people found out, they tried to charge him, try to get him arrested, but he was so powerful and had so many rich people backing him that he was able to get out of it.
Yeah, man. That they talk about the families that control. Excuse me. Yep. When they talk about the families that control the world, man, this shit ain't fucking wasn't. Shout out to Dr. Anwar Dunbar for the 10. Appreciate you, bro. $10 for trying to educate the sheep, man. Hey, I tried, man. I'm trying.
Yeah,
Yep.
and the other thing to think about too is the Wahlbergs were Jewish, and they were funding Hitler to go after them. That's insane.
Well, that's another big thing too. You brought up a great point on Fatal Dose. The whole thing about the network and these people that control the what's name, bro. They what by any means necessary, bro. For real. And that actually helps them solidify their points and spread it out, because the more emotionality and tragedy you get, the more lives and bodies that's there, the easier it is to get the whole world to buy into some shit. That's why. Go ahead.
And if black people are paying attention, if they will destroy their own to get to their goal that they want to, what will they do to us?
Exactly. Thank you. But again, you are the goyim, the fucking useless eaters, all of that shit, bro. They don't even see us as humans, man. And it's not just black people, it's everybody that's not the elite. It's everybody that's just the cannon fodder. That's what the common person is looked at. But especially when it comes to you niggas, you're the easiest. You looked at as lower than the lowest. You know what I'm saying? It's still a caste system within the people that they don't like or dislike or they have respect for. So it's mighty sad, man. Like you said, when people do all this stuff to go and hop behind shit that's gonna be your own fucking demise, bro. And all the information is out here. All you got to do is read. You know what I'm saying? The time, and again, you don't even have to read for yourself. You can literally this is an audio book, man. This whole audio book is free for you to motherfucking go and see listen to for yourself. Absolutely free of charge. Plenty of others for you to get the information you need. And the easiest thing about this, bro, you can listen to it. You don't gotta listen to it in one day or what's that. You can start listening to the shit like in a ride in your car. Okay. On your way to and from work every day. You know what I'm saying? On your lunch break or whatnot, what have you. When you laying down in the bed getting ready to go to sleep, you ain't got shit else to do. Knowledge is fucking power, man. Knowledge is more powerful than any amount of fucking money. Because again, I keep telling you, you need fucking knowledge in order to get money, bro. And once you have the knowledge, you understand what money is and the purpose of it and how to use it. Shout out to Nick Taylor. Yeah, 1984 is like here, bro, without a doubt. Hands down, no questions. Everything they told us, man, you're literally seeing it right now. They're trying to get rid of the freedom of speech, groupthink. You don't see what you see in front of you.
You know, the biggest problem with this, I find with the whole freedom of speech thing, right? I remember years ago, I was in the middle of a bunch of brothers, and there was a discussion about the Klan, and I told them, look, we shouldn't try to shut the Klan down. If they show up to your house, you lay them out, but don't try to shut them down, because the minute you start shutting them down, Other people will find other reasons to shut down other speech.
Yep.
And what I try to tell brothers is like, think about if we were if this was in 1960, where we were shutting down speech, would any of the things that King was doing or anybody at that time, would they have been able to do that without freedom of speech? And it's important. And the same way you find a reason to shut down somebody's speech where you say, oh, it hurts your feelings, or I don't like what he's saying, or he's anti this, anti that. That's those same reasons could be turned on you. And brothers just don't get it. Like, freedom of speech has to be free. If a dumb motherfucker want to say something stupid out of his mouth, let him. As long as he's not threatening your life, we cool with that. You start threatening my life, we got some. I'll turn Malcolm X by any means necessary in a minute. I just got a itchy. Ooh. Anyway, So, but brothers, a lot, like, I'm seeing a lot of people saying, well, they shouldn't be saying this, they shouldn't be saying that, and they don't understand that what they're doing is they're stopping themselves in the future, because the minute they finish shutting down the right to get their things done, to get what they want, they're going to turn their eyes on the other side. And the other side to them is more dangerous, because if you study, what's her name? Not Naomi Wolf. I forget her first name, but she had the book The End of America, where she talks about the dictators. If you look at all of the dictatorships, they all do the same thing when they're coming to power. And one of the things they do is they kill the people that helped get them in power. Look at Joseph Stalin. He was the real man behind the curtain, and he got rid of V.I. Lenin, and he got rid of Trotsky and a bunch of other people for him to solidify his power. Hitler did the same thing. Got
Yeah.
rid of the brown shirts.
Yeah, they
So
tell you that's again that's classic, like you said, fucking that's classic strategy. And Yuri Bezmenov tells people of that. He's like, hey man, listen, all of you liberals and all of you socialists, motherfuckers that help spread the bullshit, you're gonna be the first to go, because you know the intricacies of the plan, you know the programming, you know the counters. So they have to get rid of you first, so you can't expose the bullshit and confirm it because you were a part of it. Those are the first people to go, and like I said, once you get all of those people out that can, your co-conspirators away, and it's only you left, now you have that, like you said, that single solitary rule and iron fist, with nobody to tell the truth about the thing. And it doesn't really matter anyway, because now you're a tyrant, you're a dictator, and what you said goes anyway. You make the examples out of those people. That's the real fucking message there. The people that everyone's seen, and they saw them with you side by side, and helping promote them and lift them up and all this other shit. You make sure those are the first people to be hung and shot publicly. Because if he'll do it to them, what will he do to you? And you're just a lowly citizen.
yeah, and that book, The End of America, was written by Naomi Wolf. I thought I had the first name wrong. Yeah, it is Naomi Wolf. And part of it too, the reason they do that is they know that those people know the tactic to get them out of power. The same tactic those people use to put them in power, they can use it to get them out of power. So they got to get rid of that. Those people who understand how to do it.
Hey, and shout out to Nick Taylor and Mafa. Yep, appreciate you guys for that. For that reference for Naomi Wolf. And shout out to Silent Sir. Listen, man, this is not to anybody here, but to, like you said, to you commie niggas. What, you're welcome. You commie niggas, you're welcome. This is what you asked for, man, and it's only going to get worse. Everybody's going to be leapfrogged even further. What, again, Barack Obama, the first black president, quote unquote, catapulted the alphabet community over black people. I'm telling you, listen, and I didn't even understand it, right? But now that I can see outside of the fucking, bullshit automatic Democrat and, just racism, this, racism, that, and, all the bullshit, right? Bro, Barack Obama did for the alternative lifestyle community what it literally took you niggas 400 years to get. You know, the 400 years you always complain about rights to get married, rights to vote, rights to have fucking power, rights to do this, rights to do this shit. Bro, how ironic is it for the first black president to be the one to fucking make black people even a further underclass? And now you have the oncoming administration that's saying what 11 million something he's trying to open up for illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
11 million. 11 million he's trying to open up for illegal immigrants to have the opportunity to vote, to have access to government funding, all these different things, man, to just streamline these people to the front. Why? I tell bro, you niggas literally just threw yourselves off the bridge politically. There will be no need. There won't even be a get your booty to the polls in 2024. I promise you. You won't be needed. Not at all. With the combines of alternative lifestyle groups and these illegal immigrants that more than likely with the control of the executive branch and the legislative branch, they're going to get that shit passed. And who do you think those fucking illegal immigrants are going to vote for? They're not vote for no motherfucking Republican. They're not going to vote for anybody that's going to fucking restrict their family members crossing the fucking border, getting here, and being able to get a license, get government assistance, and get put to the head of the line of who? Yo, black ass.
Right.
But again, you niggas are welcome. And it's just like, bro, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to laugh at your complaining and suffering. I really am. And I'm going to enjoy it because you have to pay a hefty price, bro, for your fucking willful ignorance. Willful ignorance. Ignorance is one thing. Ignorance is not a bad thing. Ignorance just simply means you don't know something. But again, when you have these iPhones and Galaxy this and, you know, all the state of the art bullshit that all you use to motherfucking twerking on for MLK. Man, even though motherfucking Martin Luther King was a damn communist, okay, which he was, okay, the man started coming to his senses and talking the fucking real shit. That's why they smoked him. That's why they got him up out of there. Because he didn't only go against the United States. They started talking that shit when he started going against the motherfucking communist bullshit, bro. He really started talking the bullshit to black people and telling them to pretty much demand they shit. Land and money that's owed to you. And they start telling them secrets about how they stole the land from black people. Oh, no, nigga. Oh, whoa. Because that one was just fucking up for America. That would have fucked it up for the network. You see what I'm saying? They got to keep you niggas, again, oh, they killed Dr. Martin Luther. They killed Dr. King. And now they got you back in the motherfucking racism rabbit hole. But we got some new brothers up here, man. We got Citizen Lou and Gary Grant, man. You guys go ahead and jump in whenever you want to. Welcome to the panel.
Yo, what's up, Phantasm?
You got it, brother. Go ahead.
What's up, man? Yeah, so man, you said a lot, man. I just wanted to expand on a couple things. Well, first off, you know, I think that I think Black Americans got about a good 60 years left. Unless they start making like federal laws like they do endangered species, well, it's a wrap. There's just no way we can continue to move like this. You know, they're just so politically ignorant, economically ignorant, technologically ignorant, illiteracy itself. I mean, it's just all fucked up. Two, I want to touch on what you were saying about politically and economically. It's actually funny. Black people have actually no problem getting in political office at all. I mean, we, you know, from top down, like we can get into these positions. It's just the economics of it. Like if you look at Joe Biden, how and Kamala came in, black people didn't put no money up for Joe Biden. That's why all they got was hot sauce bottles. You know what I mean? Get your booty to the poll, you know, low budget shit just to get niggas to, you know what I mean, get them riled up. They didn't need to mobilize and, you know what I mean, do like an actual marketing campaign to get the black vote because they knew they had it in the bag. It was a wrap. And the third thing too I wanted to touch on, you know how I remember you said a while ago that black people consume the most media. Have you noticed how much Chinese influence is in media these days?
Oh, yeah. Most
Like
definitely.
even in Black Panther, they were in Chinatown at one point.
Yep.
And if you actually talk to the average Negro in America, you can sense like a fear of China. You know what I mean? Like they were, oh man, I ain't finna fight no Jackie Chan motherfuckers.
Hey,
Hell no.
you know what though, Citizen Lou? You know it's kind of crazy now that you see it because you know it was always like a motherfucking Chinese or Asian motherfucking alliance with the niggas because you know niggas was like, hey man, them little motherfuckers know karate and shit, man. So
Yep.
I ain't gonna fuck with them. You know, you ain't gonna go up in the motherfucking, you know, the Chinese spot for that motherfucking shrimp fried rice and chicken wing talking slick because you know them motherfuckers might come from around that counter with them nunchucks and got that
Right.
katanas and shit. You know what I'm saying? So niggas always kept that thing, man, until you start learning, like, hey, man, these niggas be faking, man. They just, but they, you know what I'm saying? They 120 pounds, man. I'm not, bro. You kick me, what you gonna do? You gonna break your own leg, nigga. I ain't worried about that shit. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of got away from it. But like you say now, bro, China has so much of a control over just the media. Remember recently, fuck, who was it? Disney, was filming, I think what Mulan in China and using fucking, you know, with the whole thing that was going on with the labor laws and shit. And motherfuckers like, hey man, what the fuck is y'all doing over there, man? You know, I know these motherfuckers who like stealing organs and putting people in concentration camps and all that shit. And Disney was like, oh and
Yeah.
same thing with NBA, bro. NBA,
Yeah,
same.
they don't care. Niggas have no honor, no code of ethics. They don't give a shit. It just flip flopped everything. And you know, it goes to the Bruce Lee. Remember the Bruce Lee movies when he whooped Kareem Abdul-Jabbar ass?
Yep.
You know, it's just stuff like that. You just go back to and just see, you know, how the brainwashing has been going on for like the last 60, 70 years, you know, in the Black America. So yeah, like I said, man, I'm gonna just go back to the first point, bro. I think Black Americans, I think we got about a good 60 years. You know, we might as well just
60,
go ahead
that's
and
a
run this
long,
shit
bro,
on
that's
up.
a long time, man. I don't see 60, man. Like I
You
said,
you think it's less?
yeah, less, definitely less. Because they
God
said
damn.
you was already at, like you said, 2053 with that, and that was like by economists, bro. So that was already calculated by economists to say 2053. So what, that would be 30 years from now? 30, oh, the 33.
Yeah, it'd be 30. You
What
right,
30,
yeah.
what 32 now? It's 2021. But you know, that'll be 30 years from now. And I think that was all dependent upon the current the numbers at the time. Now that we're where we're at now, man, like I said, this is what I can promise you, bro. If the dollar is removed as the fucking reserve currency of the world, black people are done. Because they're already saying how some people are saying it improperly, which because it's impossible. But black men aren't the majority of homeless people. They aren't the majority. They aren't, you know what I'm saying? But they do make up a very large percentage of homeless people, black men. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Then you look at the poverty rate, black people are the highest in poverty rate, bro. And again, we're the biggest demographic rate wise. I know, well, white, yeah, I know it's more white people that are on fucking welfare and in poverty due to raw numbers. But again, when you have the smaller group, the rate is more important than the whole number. So again, if you have 25%, I think it's actually like 26% of black people that are living below the poverty rate, right? And that's
Mm-hmm.
only going to expand now because we're losing jobs and small businesses. That's where you're going to have people that aren't able to generate income on their own or have jobs to be made. And that's what
Oh
people don't understand too, man. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, brother. I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no. I just what you were talking about the small business. Here's another thing too. How the government flip. You know, flip the table on this. You know, like most black businesses are like barbershops, right?
Exactly. Oh yeah, the Holy Trinity. You got church, you got you got barbershops, and you got like the soul food joint. That's it. That's like the only three. Those are the only three guaranteed businesses to fucking make it in fucking the hood, bro, in black neighborhoods. Only three.
Right, and in California, they made it to where they're W-2 now. Barbers,
Uh-huh.
yeah, they're essentially
Oh
W-2
shit.
now. Yeah,
Wow.
so you can't.
Whoa,
Yeah, so
whoa,
you
whoa,
got to
whoa,
get
whoa, whoa, whoa,
receipts. You
whoa.
got to
Back,
get.
back that up. You say what now?
Yeah, in California, they were running a bill to make.
Oh, nigga, it's over. That's over. Cause
That's what I'm saying.
oh man,
That was the last. That was the last
Yeah.
line of defense.
oh
It's
yeah,
over.
bro. That brown paper bag money over with for the barbershop, nigga. It's over with.
It's over.
That's
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. People don't understand what the fuck they be voting for, what they talking about, because like you know, this COVID took some businesses out too. But hell, that just took out a business right there, and that was just legislation.
Well, like you said, niggas don't understand what they don't understand, bro. That's why I say they don't understand politics. They don't understand money. This is what happens when people don't take the time, bro, to just do a little bit of research and become knowledgeable on something that's gonna affect them. Like you said, bro, if you move this shit along as to where you can't now generate your own fucking income and you have to be dependent upon a job and you're voting things in the place as to where like now, like you said, that was one of the sacred fucking things hairdressers and fucking barbershops. Why? Because it's cash. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Because you're
It's
gonna need a
straight
license
cash.
to cut
But
hair, and to cut hair, and that was you got to do W-2. It's crazy.
But yeah, my bad. Bro, Truth in the building. What's up,
Go
bro?
ahead, bro. Too. I'm done. I'm passing the mic.
Yo, what's good? What's good?
You got it, bro.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Oh, bet. Yeah, man, this is another educational round here, man. Thanks for putting on the series out here, man. I know you educate niggas in one brain cell at a time, bro.
Trying, man. We trying, bro.
Yeah, I know. I think you guys brought up Hegel earlier. Um, and typically, whenever Hegel's brought up, is in terms of the Hegelian dialectic. But Hegel's actually he basically revolutionized. Um, so like he basically has his own field or his own um I guess would be theory on um I guess everything pretty much or from a psychological standpoint, from philosophy standpoint. He has a theory of um evolution. So even like, from a personal standpoint or from a society standpoint, the theory is that there must be some version of conflict, right? It's a negative uh, theory of progression. So the world, you, society, um, all these systems progress through negation, through constant conflict. There must be a war between two different sides in order to progress, right? This is juxtaposed to something that's built upon, you know what I mean, something that's grown on um, a positive relationship to one another. So Hegel's basically was huge inspiration to Marx and Engels. Marx and Engels basically built communism off of Hegelian thought. So this is the basis of what we're seeing in the world today. They're forcing this, and the thing is, Hegel's theory cannot be found in nature. It does not exist. You know, and that's why the philosophy of Marxism and the philosophy that's been pushed has to be pushed through um, tyrannical means because it's not natural.
yeah, in terms of war, what Hegel's talking about goes all the way back to the Persian Empire. Now, I can't remember this king's name, but there was one Persian king that was injured, and he was literally bedridden for 3 years. And his advisors came to him and said, "Your Majesty, we have not had a war for 3 years, and the people are beginning to look at us. So since the people are not going out and they're not preoccupied by war, they started looking at the government like, hey, what are you guys doing? What are you up to?" And they went to him begging him to get out of to get out of bed for them to start a war, so that they could get keep the people's mind occupied. That was in Herodotus, Volume 1. I remember when I read that, bro, I was like, whoa, these guys were doing this stuff like 2,500 years ago. And how the heck do we not, most people don't even realize this how we're being played, with the absence of, so Trump didn't start a war during his presidency. So they needed something to keep the people's mind occupied, hence the riots and everything that was going on over the summer. right? And the worst part about it, I've been thinking about this. If you think about the system's ultimate goal is to get rid of the useless eaters. The biggest people they want to, the largest group they want to get rid of this out of this country are blacks, right? And they've already set the precedence to these dumb Negroes that they can go out there and riot without consequence. Under Biden presidency, when these people start not to get what they want, and they go out there rioting, because they're
That
so
2021 crime bill gonna get written up.
so what's going to happen? Because they think they're going to be able to keep doing, like, because they've done it before and nothing happened to them, and Biden's their boy, so they're going to think they're going to go out there rioting, and that's when they're going to get that rude awakening.
Hey, and that's another great thing too, man. Listen, I don't think people understand the precedence of that to where this thing is going on now, especially in the Capitol, where you have 25,000, bro, 25,000 or 20 to 25,000 troops, pretty much opening from what they're saying, authorized to use lethal force, checkpoints and all this shit. You pretty much turn the Capitol into some sort of fucking compound, man.
Like it's
Or
under siege.
or like a castle in the kingdom, right? So what people don't understand is, and this is why media is so important, and all these things are, as long as it's them, I'm cool with it. But like you said, what's going to happen is it's going to be a blanket statement for everybody, whether you be left or right, and you try to riot and shit. Now they're saying, okay, you want to come out here in the streets and do civil unrest and all this other shit. Nah, we're not gonna have that. We're not gonna allow you to motherfucking get away with that shit, and we gonna start laying you niggas down.
But one thing though is that what's happening and what tends to happen, especially during the transition from one form of government to the next, is that the criminal class is used as a power base. And that's why you see all these liberal cities basically giving leeway to a shit ton of criminals, people that they're trying to make felons be able to vote. They're trying to basically get everyone out of prison because of COVID. They're being a little bit more lenient on crimes that once were punished harshly. It basically, we are replacing one class of people with a lower class of people in order to revolutionize the state of being in this country, or the state of mind in this country. It has to be a complete revolution of thought. And the quickest way to do that is to basically have that totalitarian jackboot train of thought, cutthroat train of thought integrated into your power base. The criminal class has that by a natural state. So that's what can occur. You know what I mean? Like, not to say that it wouldn't be another crime bill to come through. However, in the current state and what's happening, they want the criminal class in the front lines, because that's how they see about transitioning the system. Because have you seen how they're trying to turn criminals into victims? There's never no thought of the person that on the other side of the gun that that's been robbed or raped or whatever. All
Yeah,
these news stories are trying to basically transmutate these illegal immigrants. So it came over here, raped somebody, killed somebody. Oh, they just want to come over here for their families. You know what I mean? Or like they did with what's the dude? Was Blake? What's his name?
Jacob
Joseph
what?
Blake.
Jacob Blake.
Jacob Blake, yeah.
Wheelchair
They
boy.
got that nigga in the wheelchair, wheelchaired up, got the crocodile tears, they got this man like he just, he was, a perfect citizen out here, you know what I mean? You're trying to normalize criminality in order to revolutionize the mind of most Americans. They want us to come down to a lower level of thought. That's what it's about, transitioning America into a different state of mind, for real. An
And,
animalistic state of mind, bro.
and the thing with that is, bro, like they don't really care about crime. They just care when it goes to their doorstep. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll let the common folk kill each other, shoot each other, rob each other, burn down Burger Kings, Wendy's, burning up, blowing up police stations. They cool with that as long as they don't get to their front door. You were talking about, talking about the elites and shit like that, like Joe Biden and all them. Like they don't care about them tearing up black neighborhoods. They don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
exactly. And like you said, that's you're seeing that now where they're telling you and they're trying to get rid of all of this Second Amendment shit, right? Gun rights and all these other things. But again, now you got 25,000 armed troops with lethal force authorized for, you know what I'm saying, a fucking, something that was proven to be too. You guys seen the footage of the Capitol siege? Like where the dude was walking in there,
And they were marching.
well, no, not just
No,
marching,
dude,
like
dude,
actually
what's
got
up? The dude sitting on the floor, and it was
yeah,
like,
He asked him,
it's
"Do you
like,
need
well, can you guys leave? Or, like,
Yeah. You need
we
medical
will.
protection?"
We just want to make sure no one disrespect the place.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yep. Yeah. See, man, it's sad, bro. It really is. But again, this is how easy it is to control the mind of sheep, man. But we got a couple of a few new people in here. We got Gary, Jason, and Lonell. Whoever wants to go ahead, hop in there.
While they think about who's gonna go, let me
Yeah.
I was like, they are crickets, nigga.
For real.
let me jump in here and add
Y'all
something
hear
to
me?
what Bro Truth was saying.
Yeah.
So what Bro Truth was saying about the releasing of the criminals, I think it goes deeper than that, right? Think about in the 80s and 90s what black people were focused on, right? It was, we got to get crimes out of our neighborhood. We got to be safe in our own neighborhoods. And then you have all these people that were in prison, and we were too busy to focusing on trying to just to like walk through, come out our homes, go to the store and come back alive, than to worry about, well, Mr. Government, we want this, we want that, the other. By releasing these criminals into the neighborhood, and you bring chaos into the neighborhood, it's another form of war, giving the Negroes something else to think about. So they won't be coming to the government making any demands. If you look at what's happening in New York right now, man, I have family up in New York. It is bad. The crime,
It's brutal.
it is insane, bro.
Told you I saw
I'm
a
glad
dude
I
on top
left
of an
there.
ice
I'm glad
cream
I don't
truck.
live there anymore.
It was a dude on top of an ice cream truck with a flamethrower.
What?
Whoa.
What?
Just wild shit. This shit like Gotham. No Batman.
Gotham without Batman.
That is another point. Who's making that point? Was that Phil?
No, that's
Yeah.
Lou. Yeah, that's Lou.
No, I'm saying that was making a point on criminality being integrated into heightened in these urban in black communities. Because that's another part of it.
Well, hey, it's funny. Wait, it's funny you mentioned that, right? Because again, and then we get into the whole predictive programming aspect of it, right? Because that's what happened in all the Batman things, in both when it was the Joker aspect of it. Well, of course, the Joker version, what that was, what, Dark Knight Returns, or what?
Dark Knight
Dark
Rises.
Knight.
Dark Knight.
So yeah,
No,
Dark
just still a Dark Knight. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so Dark Knight was the one with the Joker, and then when you had the Dark Knight Returns, the one with Bane, it was the same thing. This whole anarchist ideology, and pretty much like, order out of chaos. And again, you look into that. That's even on the money, and that's one of the founding principles of this system. By any means necessary, it all breaks down to that. And in order for you to build something new, you have to tear it down and destroy it to the ground. You know what I'm saying? And we keep seeing it. And like you said, it just keep getting degraded and further and further into all of this fucking just criminality and all of the, just the worst of the worst. Bro, Truth, you mentioned the whole thing about the prison aspect. I just saw something today in VA. They're trying to change the law of where they had this law in Virginia about where, like, sexual predators, namely, child sexual predators, even after their prison sentence or whatnot, they could be indefinitely kept in medical psychological facilities, right? And again, man, we're seeing this thing, bro, that's happening, and I'm telling you guys, bro, you need to be prepared. Okay, everything they're doing in California is the goal for the nation. Okay, they're trying this shit out there. Again, they just tried something today where parents, well, and funny enough, it was the Asian lady was the one that was speaking, but they're trying to push this what do they call that shit, race theory bullshit, bro, on third graders, along with and it's not just race theory, it's also race theory along with gender and transgender and all this other stuff, ideology, to children, bro. Again, I keep telling you, man. Remember when I told y'all they wouldn't let me type it in the chat? They literally would not let me type. You start with the children because the children will become the adults. And once you have the mind of the children, once they're grown, it'll be normal to them. This is why they want to always introduce this shit to kids younger and younger and younger and younger and younger. The goal, people, is to introduce sexual, you know what I'm saying, situation and you know, pretty much sexual education to
Sexual
children.
deviancy.
Yeah, in elementary school, man. You know, what the hell does a third grader or anyone that's not a teenager, you know, prepubescent years, need to know anything about sex, period? And why are you trying to change the mind to unproven just bullshit? There's no science behind it. That's what I'm saying. You literally have people teaching non-factual, non-science to children about just bullshit theory about genders and all these other things. Yet still, like I said, if you were as a black person to tell the truth about, you know, not all black people being slaves or something like that, you'd be called like an identity extremist. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Right.
and it's plenty, or to speak about these things right here that you can actually go and pull the reference up to by these people that wrote all this information, and it's provable that you're a conspiracy theorist or nationalist extremist. So
Yeah, what
my man, go ahead.
now, what a
So
lot of people don't realize about what you just said about the black, not all black people were slaves. There were blacks here that were aristocrats that actually owned slaves.
Fatal.
Don't go there, right? You know,
Niggas
so
forget that part of history. I don't know why.
yeah, they, you know, and when I say stuff, when I say these things, these historical facts, then they're like, oh, you're trying to excuse the white people. Nah, I'm about the truth, and the truth is the truth. We've turned this brutal thing called slavery into a crutch, where you know, I turned from one channel to another across across Black YouTube, where all I hear is excuses about slavery while we can't move forward or be smart or not be criminals. Like I hear brothers defending people raping, robbing, and killing each other with slavery. That's insane to me.
So what Mr. Fantastic was talking about is called comprehensive sexual education. And this is actually a UN-based program where they teach that sexuality, they have a rights-based approach to sexual education. It's a right for your child to know how to masturbate at age 6. It's the right for them to know about anal sex. It's the right for them to know about same sex. And it's a right for them to know about how to please an older man. That's their view on these subjects. This is much more than a conspiracy theory. No, this is a curriculum.
Yep.
Yo,
This is
bro,
a
truth.
curriculum being pushed out in the West, primarily in the United States and UK, from the top down. This
And
is
again,
this actually been
they tried
internationally.
They tried that shit in the UK, man, and they tried that shit with a Muslim it was a Muslim group community that shut that shit down. Shut it down.
So the whole program, it seeks to change society by changing the sexual and the sexual norms and the sexual behaviors and gender norms of the youth by having them empowered to advocate for their sexual rights.
Yep.
That's demonic, bro. That's what Aleister Crowley wanted to do.
From the bottom to the top is Luciferian.
And
Yep,
shout out to
and-
Fatal Dose, man. Again, if you guys go and look into Aleister Crowley's philosophy, theosophy, the occult, and all the esoteric shit, man, they tell you they talk about sex magic, okay? And they say that's why I keep telling you guys, bro, they're after your sons. There's not a coincidence that you keep seeing these young black boys that they're trying to. It's a reason why young black boys have the biggest growth when it comes to alternative lifestyle members, okay? Again, we talk about this shit, right? And we talk about the essence of black men and the power of it and the what you represent. So if you're able to, and the whole thing about when you get into the occult, you know, the occult aspect is, you know, opposites. the combining or the coming together of the opposites, right? So if you take the most masculine man and you make him feminine, that generates more energy for the quote unquote beast. So, and Aleister Crowley tells you that the biggest reward or payback you get from, like, you know, the occult or from the whatever it may be you're trying to get, it is from young boys, bro.
Yeah.
And what,
Yeah, they
what
believe
happens
that.
when you sexualize children young, right? These children grow up thinking that it's perfectly fine for children to know about these things.
Yep.
This is not. And when I was 5, I learned how to put on a condom. It's a-okay. When I was in fucking preschool, we had motherfucking drag queen story hour.
Yep.
Right.
But you know,
They
what's
teach us how
funny?
to put on condoms. Like,
Right.
and it's normal. It's normal when you get in, your adult years. Oh, okay. Well, that's, cuties. Oh, that shit. That's what cuties part 5.
Right.
You know what's
the
crazy
worst
though?
part is,
But you know what's crazy about it though, man? Like if you kind of look at like our upbringing, we were around a lot of bullshit growing up.
Yeah.
We saw tranny shit. Like what's that? Remember that movie Ving Rhames?
Yeah, two on food. No, Holiday Heart.
Holiday Heart. Yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
Holiday Heart. You know what I mean? That we seen all type of promiscuous shit. We had BET late at night. We had Uncut, right? What was it called? Uncut.
Yeah, but that was the
But
thing
this is
though. At
different
least
though,
then-
bro. This is
yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
This is way more in your face. Like, hey, nigga,
No,
this
I
is what we
mean-
doing, and hey, and you are a fucking bigot if you don't like it.
No,
And-
I'm not saying necessarily like it's whether it's worse or better. I'm just saying you can see how fucked up we are.
Well, but this is what we saying, Citizen Lou. You have to speed up. They're speeding up the progression of it, and to like just downright, again, making it okay for adults to deal with kids, man.
Oh no, I agree. I was just saying if you see like how
No, I feel you. Like I
you
said,
know what I'm saying, like y'all are right because they are speeding it up. But if you see, I'm just saying if you want to see what it's gonna look like, look at us. You know how fucked up this shit is.
bro, it's nothing near what, like, bro, we didn't have to work, bro. I didn't have to worry about, even though, like I said, we saw like RuPaul and even Holiday Heart and I think the Wesley Snipes shit and what Patrick Swayze, them motherfuckers.
Yeah, we saw. Yeah,
But remember all the Jerry Springer shit.
Yeah, that was
that too.
That was just seen as Miss Doubtfire, Nutty Professor.
Mhm.
All that shit was just as comedy, in which like it was veiled and a slight pushing of it, but this is just outright saying it like, hey, no, not a man pretending to be a woman and it. Now it went from a man pretending to be a woman to like, no, men are women, women are men. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So
and
in
the
California,
crazy
they've
part about
had,
it. And here's what's crazy, right? I'm a little bit older than some of you dudes. I'm 46. I'm turning 47 this year, right? And yo, I did not learn about sex till I was 10, and that's because I went to a friend's house and he brought another friend over, and that kid started telling us about sex. And in fact, I knew there were gays. And I knew that, they my family were like, oh no, you're not supposed to be like that. And I thought they were just rubbing noses with other men, and I thought that was disgusting. I was 12 when I learned what it was to be what these dudes were doing behind closed doors, bro. And even to me, like it like I was freaking out when I first heard like, yeah, why are they letting them do that? It's like, ew, So and I'm smarter than most kids were. I got 120 IQ, hell. But point being is now you take, the 5-year-old and you putting them in front of this stuff, man.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
So in California, AB 329 was the bill that was implemented, which requires that all children basically receive a curriculum that acknowledges different sexual genders. Also, they must teach the FDA-approved methods of preventing pregnancies and transmission of HIV and other sexual diseases. They have to basically indoctrinate their children about condoms, contraceptives, well before they're at an age where they should even understand anything about sex. This is mandated by the state.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. If you
You're
still got your kids
desensitizing
in schools,
Yeah,
you fucking
sexual
up.
proclivity is mandated.
Yeah.
by the
You're,
state. That's what's
you're
going on here.
desensitizing the
And
kids, right? Because before, if a kid was molested, they would run home to their parents and say, so and so did this to me, right? For the most part, some kids would just hide it, especially in the black community. I was shocked to find out how rampant sexual abuse was when I got older in the black community. But, some kids will run to their parents and tell them. So what
it,
you're doing is you're normalizing it and you're desensitizing the kids to it so that they think it's okay. A 5-year-old gets grabbed by a grown man, they think it's okay for them to do that. In fact, next week they'll want to go see Bobby again because his uncle's going to be there.
and what's crazy about it, bro, is they allow the parents to opt out of the whole sexual education portion of it, but the bill stops parents from opting out of the material that talks about a gender identity or gender expression or a sexual orientation. So
Yeah,
anything that to do with, like, condoms and contraceptives and HIV, you can opt your kid out of that. But when it comes to the alternative lifestyle, you cannot, as a parent in California, you cannot as a parent tell the school board, I don't want my kid participating in this. I don't want him exposed to this. He's too young. You cannot opt out of it. It's a system you cannot opt out
Well,
of it.
yeah, I mean, you can, brother. True. You gotta send your kids to either private school or homeschool.
I was just gonna say that.
But I'm saying, though, that's completely different than opting out of it, like where you can, basically engage with the public school and say, yo, I don't want my kids exposed to this. You taking your kid and taking them somewhere else or put them into another program or another school, that's different from opt out. That's you taking your kid
That's
out of
opting
that
out
completely.
I'm saying, but you can't. I know what you're saying, but like
you know the problem though.
Go ahead, Lethal. I know you ain't said nothing in a minute. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The problem is, with that means if you're gonna opt in, if you're gonna, because I agree with that, like taking them, putting them in like homeschooling or, private school, that's gonna also mean that you're gonna have to have the means to do so.
But the thing is, though, even if you try to go to homeschool, you have state mandated curriculum. They push down on you. Like, straight up.
Hey, shout out to Bro
state mandated, bro.
Listen,
you can't escape it.
That's another big thing too. You got to start realizing.
Oh, yes, you can.
Bro. Listen, and you can choose not to do it. Citizen Lou, of course.
Yeah, you can choose not to do it, of course. Yeah, but what I'm saying is
that's going to be part of the curriculum, and what I promise you, what they'll do to do a catch-all is pretty much they'll pretty much have a test or something that you have to be able to pass or to show that you actually taught the kid that curriculum. So again, man, if you're staying in Cali, by all means, man, you should be doing everything to get out of Cali. I'm just saying. I mean, the shit is accessible.
It's scary though. That shit's gonna spread everywhere else because a lot of them crazy Californians is coming to other places with that silly shit.
Well,
yeah, bro.
Real quick, this is what I was saying, Lethal. Oh, and shout out to Little Rock 2517 for the $5 cash out, brother. My bad. Sorry I missed that, man. Appreciate you, brother. But listen, this is what's gonna happen, and people keep talking about secession and shit like that. There's not gonna be any secession, but what you're gonna have is you're gonna have certain states that are going to become extremely conservative, and those are gonna be like the only places of refuge if you do not fucking fall in line with the bullshit ideology, alternative lifestyle shit, boys wearing dresses and men being women and all these other things, right? All these fringe and extremist ideas that have no scientific proof behind them. You're going to have to flee to certain states that just aren't going to go down with the bullshit. Again,
right.
But real talk though, man, look at Austin. Austin has been taken over by this fucking crazy ass liberal mind state, bro.
And I live,
a lot of people from California are moving to Texas and transitioning and shit. And then look at Georgia, bro. They forced Georgia blue. My nigga. Georgia's never been a blue state, bro.
Well, yeah, you're right. And I saw that shit coming again, man.
No, it was when Clinton was ran.
I was just about to say that. That was probably the only time.
Yeah, but that was 94. What was that?
Yeah.
94. But listen, This is what I'm saying. I knew that shit was happening with them even before I understood the whole communist backing bullshit because of what they did for Stacey Abrams and just the work and shit she was putting in behind it, and especially Atlanta becoming the hub, one of the capitals of alternative lifestyle ideology. That was if and those people generate so much fucking money, bro. That's what's so scary, bro. Y'all niggas, bro. Nick,
CNN is in
Talk
Atlanta.
about it.
hold on. I'm trying to say this without saying it, without getting, you know what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all let people that have unnatural proclivities have more power than you as a whole race. 5% of people, majority which are men that like, entertaining men, have more power than our entire race. What the fuck? This is why I have no faith. This is why I'm like, bro, this like you niggas are done. You niggas are done. And like I said, this is why black people need a great separation. You need it, bro. You can't
agree.
You cannot keep carrying this dead weight, bro. You cannot. This is going to be a time of coming up here shortly, especially over this next 4 years, to a motherfucker that don't got their finances together. They don't want to get the knowledge that you need in order to move around. For power moves. Combine money together and build infrastructure and build economies inside of communities and shit like that, bro. Bro, you gotta let them go. I know it's hard because it's gonna be your mama, it's gonna be your brother, it's gonna be your sister, it's gonna be whoever. But you're gonna have, you got it, bro. You're gonna have to let them motherfucking go ahead and wander into the wilderness, bro. Because this shit right here is finna get real, telling you, finna get real tight and real tough. Especially like I said, bro. If the first thing he's gonna do is start this 11 million fucking immigrants to citizens bullshit. On top of the fact, like I said, who knows what's gonna be in this first 100 days. Remember, we're going to have written alternative lifestyle LGBT legislation. What is that going to be? What is that going to entail? What if the LGBT legislation is, okay, it's mandatory now on a national scale for you to teach the shit that Bro Truth was talking about? You see what I'm saying? He's already appointed. Who did he appoint today? The
First transgender.
What's the position?
Fuck, what was it?
Somebody put it in the chat. What's the transgender person that he appointed today? What's the title?
The health? It was a health official. I can't remember the position.
Oh, a health official?
Yeah.
I saw that. I can't remember the exact
the irony of that.
Yeah. Wow.
Like damn.
So listen, man. So you can just so I promise you the bullshit is that is gonna come behind that man is gonna be so astronomical. It's gonna be unbelievable, bro. And I ain't just talking, CV. I'm not just talking that. It's definitely gonna be pushing a lot of that bullshit and rhetoric, but the other shit is gonna come behind it. We might actually get a challenge or a change to fucking actual science behind this stupid motherfucker that they're about to put in here, man. And again, this is why, look, man, if you're a black man, you need to be putting yourself into politics, man. That's real shit. I was gonna wait to say this shit, but bro, the only way you're gonna be able to fight this shit back, bro, and even if you don't win, listen, this is what people don't understand a lot of time about strategy and shit. Sometimes, bro, you lose the battle to win the war. You know what I'm saying? And what you're gonna have to do is run against these individuals, especially when you have a person that's perfect examples, like what with Delaware, right? Delaware had the first transgender senator or whatnot, I think, right? And basically this person won off the strength of their sexuality. And you as a black man should be like, okay, well, if we got people getting voted in strictly off of their their minority moniker, whatever their minority marker may be. Well, shit. What happened to the black man? What are we doing here? I have actual things to offer, and I have actual policies and strategies in order to get us somewhere positive. But if you guys are just going to vote people in because they like to, their sexual orientation or what they choose to believe in false science, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? And
I know exactly what you're saying, because I don't see any black male issues on any type of ballot.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start forcing the issue, bro, and putting these ideas out here of just undeniable, things that people, no matter how much they want to, especially for the men aspect, because like I said, If you're a man out here, bro, and you're voting for, you know what I'm saying, alternative lifestyle person that's pretending to be you, or a man that was a man and now he's claiming to be a woman, listen, they're not your friend. They're not. I promise you, they're not going to vote anything in favor of heterosexual men. Nothing on fathers' rights, family rights,
Ooh.
laws for unjust laws or unfair laws against men, like being able to go back and just retroactively change the statute of limitations on rape claims and stuff like that, and sexual assault claims. All of these different shits, bro. You're gonna have to hop into this shit for the sake of, again, not just yourself, but the men that are gonna come after you. And
Yep.
we gotta be willing to motherfucking go out there and do that shit, bro. Even if you don't win it, you're putting the ideology out there, and the points and the policies that these people at some point in time will have to take into consideration and implement, because now people that's never ever thought of this shit hear about something that's actually going to benefit them and or their family members, and they can't just go by it, even if they vote the stupid motherfucker in.
And you know what,
You know
Fantastic?
what?
That's an excellent point.
Yes.
I was thinking black men, we should start moving like refugees, like black men who aren't on the, woke progress, you know what I'm saying, the LG, the alternative lifestyle type deal, who think differently. We got to start acting like Blackistan refugees. We got to integrate into different type of communities, and because if you like, you're talking about the political position right there. There's no way the black community will support anything a black man who's speaking like that. So we're gonna have to go to, like, what I mean, other groups. You get what I'm saying?
Well, no, this is what I'm saying. I don't think we have to go to other groups, and this is the what we can learn from small groups with an understanding of economics, power, and politics. I mean, you have that in people from Israel and Asians, right? So you never get targeted campaigns to those two groups, but yet still those two groups are powerful enough to control politicians. So the same thing will be even better is what you if we had and start appointing, or not appointing, but putting up strong candidates by our own dollars and our own means. It's just the fact of the matter of us coming together, man, and again shaking off the dead weight. That's gonna be the hardest thing, because I think now I know that what niggas don't want to do is not be cool with niggas. But like you said, you have an understanding that if you're not catering to niggas, and you actually start speaking to the groups that actually matter, those people that are going to fucking put the dollars behind you, and you're promoting something other than just for black people. That's why I say, man.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry for missing it, man. But black men are gonna have to start speaking more of American aspect than the black that.
Right.
Yep.
Hey,
My bad. Go ahead.
That's the
So-
thing,
so-
bro. They want us to basically not have any association with being an American. Like, they want us to basically harken back to, Mother Africa. They want us to have a dissociation when it comes to the Constitution, when it comes to being a citizen of this country. Not to say that I'm a fucking constitutional scholar, or that I bleed red, white, and blue. I'm not oblivious to the harmful shit that this country has done in the name of so-called democracy. Do you realize? What was that? I didn't catch that.
My bad. Sorry, bro.
No, you good. You good. Well, nah, I'm just saying, bro. I realize that this country has definitely done some dirt, and it continues to do some dirt. But there is value. There is value in a country that recognizes every human being, every citizen of the country is born with God-given rights. That is the base. That is the base form of this country. Now, do we to this day, follow the Constitution? No. There's a shit ton of laws on the book that have basically made the Constitution null and void. And you got NSA fucking listening in on us. That came out during the James Clapper testimony, where he blatantly lied and said that the NSA and CIA was not listening to American phone calls. That was a lie. That actually came out.
Yeah, and General Hayden had already admitted they were way back when Snowden and them came out with that stuff. I don't know if you remember, General
WikiLeaks.
Hayden was the head of the NSA.
Yes, but my whole point is this, man. Like, I definitely understand America isn't perfect. I look at the country just like a person, right? You know what I mean? Like historically, there's a lot of fucking grimy ass shit and a lot of niggas passes, right? You know what I mean? But that makes you who you are. You basically overcome that negative shit, or you overcome your adversity in your past, and that makes you who you are. You're a better person because of it. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
You
So
you recognize the shit that you've done, like the bad days that you had, or the bad times that you had, and you build from there. The same thing with America, right? You know what I mean? There has to be
yes.
there has to be some reverence of the past. That's why you have this idea that's pushed by the left. Just get rid of all these racist statues, get rid of history, whitewash, get rid of the whitewashing of history. Let's replace what actually happened with our own black version, the 1619 project. Like the complete nonsense, has no historical fact whatsoever, but we're going to go ahead and replace American history with this garbage.
But
just
listen,
because
listen
just
to
because
this though.
it makes us feel bad. We don't want to see anything that might make us feel bad.
Yeah, let me jump in here for a second to jump on what you mentioned about them not wanting us to be Americans, right? All right, so this is the biggest problem I have with the Black Power movement. Did anybody see the debate between Anthony J. Hilder and Khalid Muhammad, Dr. Khalid Muhammad? All right, so if you have not seen that debate, go check it out, right? It was at that point I realized how we're being played. Well, I knew we were being played, but I didn't realize the level to which we were being played, right? When Anthony J. Hilder said that Khalid Muhammad was getting money from the foundations, right? And he challenged Khalid Muhammad, and Khalid Muhammad admitted that he is getting money from the foundations. These are the same foundations that are pushing all of that crap on us. The he she's and the kids being taught sex. They're the same ones who are pushing it. And the reason that they support these Black Power movements is because if you're about Black Power, then you're not about being an American. You're about so you push that and you create a even a greater divide between the American citizens based on race, sexual orientation, and all of this other stuff. And this is what they do. Then this is how they keep us from moving forward because we're like, oh, we're Black before we're American, so we're Black, so therefore we're not part of this system. And I always hear Negroes say this, well, we weren't party to the Constitution. And they're saying that it's like, are you kidding me? The guy who just came here from Bulgaria 20 years ago, he wasn't party to the Constitution, but he's not saying, I don't want to be part of the American system. No, he integrates. And this is how they keep us from realizing our potential by funding the people that are teaching us that we're not part of the system while they benefiting from the system itself. Think about that.
And you know what, Fatal, was so funny about what you just said? It's like they want to dissimulate, right, but still be in their system.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they don't like I saw there's this TV show Blackish or whatever. Like the black students had wanted to desegregate, like put all the black kids in one, but y'all still on a white campus though.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't make sense. It goes to what you were saying. Like this shit is dumb. They got us just this shit is stupid.
Well, they've gotten us in the perpetual mind state of the eternal victim, right? Like, because again, you have there's this mode of thought that most black people have adapted, that they're under this oppressive boot all the time, 24/7. We're pretty much living in the Jim Crow South in 2021, and we will not let up that mode of thought because one is too profitable. I mean, Black Lives Matter have made what $10 billion in a span of less than a year. Less than a year. I mean, race hustling is extremely profitable. Straight up, bro. You can make your whole career path off it. You ain't even got to be white. Fucking Rachel Dolezal, anyone? Fucking what's the other buddy name?
Yeah, and Rachel
Sean
Dolezal
King?
done got
Sean King.
more
Yeah,
black
man.
men
Hey,
out of
them
jail than
niggas.
anybody.
Hey, them niggas. Hey, they living high on the hog. They not even black. So
Right.
this shit is extremely profitable, bro. Like having us stay in this mind state of oh, woe is me, the slavery. What about my slavery? What about my Black Wall
My,
Street?
my black codes, yeah, Black Wall Street. Yep.
Yeah, it's and again, historically, this shit happened, right? You have to recognize that. You have to recognize that, this country's done some fucked up evil shit in this past. But real talk, we have to grow from it, bro. You know what I mean? Like it's like any other nigga. Like if shit on the regular, dog. Like if you got like a fucking crackhead uncle or some shit that used to be dirt in the past, but now he done fucking switched this shit around and niggas in suits every day. He's a fucking pastor or some shit like that. If he fucking stayed in that same state and that mentality of chasing rocks and shit, bro, or stayed a victim. Oh man, a white man put these drugs in my street. I ain't got no choice but to do them.
I gotta sell them to my people.
Yeah,
Right.
I gotta sell them to my people. And
Somebody
bruh,
got to buy them.
Yeah, somebody got to
exactly. And
shit. They put them over here.
yeah, man, and that's the mentality, bro, that keeps niggas trapped, bro. Like straight up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. I think they need to make a law to where you can't use your race as an excuse for
Oh,
anything.
you know about the excuse, right? The same people that are screaming, "We were kings and queens," are the same ones that have the worst victim mentality. It's insane to me. How are you a king or a queen when you're a victim? Kings and queens aren't victims.
Yeah, like I had gotten to it with my homeboy, and he was talking about, we built America and all, and we built all. I'm like, bro, like, then why can't we? Let me ask you a question. Fatal, brother, everybody on the panel. If you built something, would you burn it down?
No. Why the hell?
Absolutely not.
You get what I'm saying? Like whether that's true or not, you know what I'm saying? Like that we built it or not, whether that's true or not, are black people acting like they built America?
No, but again, like you said, like Fatal and Bro Truth said, it's been the major part to sell to black people that we aren't Americans. That we're just that we're that's why the slavery narrative still rolls, because they want to tell you somehow oppression and all this other shit equals fucking all the shit, oppression and all this other shit equals slavery. Racism equals slavery. White supremacy equals slavery. So you want to keep convincing the black man that you're a slave, even though slavery is no longer fucking here. And this is the point I wanted to make to Fatal's point earlier on. Bro, slavery is not exclusive to black people. It's not. Slavery has been on every continent in this fucking in this world except fucking Antarctica. You know what
But
I'm saying?
Chinese
So,
people were
And
slaves here.
it still exists. I mean, shit.
it's still going on
Look
to
at what's going on. You still got open air slave markets in Libya.
Yeah.
Thank you, Barack Obama and
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton.
And like you said, man, no one talks about that or cares. And like I said, bro, you literally live in the first world country of all first world countries, and you're complaining and where homeless people have it better than people that in fucking other countries, man. So again, man, it's crazy that motherfuckers just again, man, just throw the shit away so willingly because they drinking the Kool-Aid, and it's dumb as fuck.
It is dumb. And that's why I keep saying, bro, like either we make a change or we do something different, or cause I told you said 20 years. I'm gonna give it 60. You
No,
know what I'm saying?
it's not gonna be 60, bro. I promise you. I doubt it, man. Like I say, these are motherfuckers that are way more intelligent than me, man. That's did the numbers and all this other shit. In order for us to get out of it, you would have to literally have a turnaround of beyond epic proportions. So where we took that whole $1.3 trillion of spending power per year and started and invested at least 40 to 50% of it into Black-owned businesses and Black communities and establishing a Black dollar. If you don't do that, bro, it's over with. And then, like I said, with this coming on here, that you're gonna see that that's what people are not gonna realize. That number's gonna drop drastically because you're gonna have more people getting that's not gonna be able to work, get jobs, or be able to even start businesses and things because of this $15 minimum wage. And the thing about it is, bro, by the time that people understand it, that because again, bro, there's a reason why you have more workers than bosses. You know what I mean? Every worker feels like, hey man, yeah, bro, I ought to be a fucking, just people in general. Yeah, man, I would be a fucking millionaire. Why? Oh, no. Why? Why should you be a millionaire, brother? Why should you get paid? What do you
Because
have to
Jay-Z
offer?
told me.
Yeah, man, by the block, nigga. I was a slave. No, nigga, no. Can you show me your slave papers? Can you go down your fucking family tree and tell me the land that was taken, the slave ship that your great granddaddy and grandmama got off for any of that shit? Oh no, you can't. Well, nigga, that's not a suffice. That's not that answer is not gonna suffice. Tell me what you produce that's worth $1 million. Oh, you can't. Nothing. Exactly.
And
Arguing on
what's funny?
Facebook Live.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
Go ahead.
What another interesting part of what you just said, brother, is what if some of these people actually trace their history back and find out that they wasn't slave, that their ancestors wasn't slave, but rather selling other blacks?
Yeah, I told. That's what and lethal. That's what I keep trying to tell when we was having this argument with niggas about the whole ADOS and reparation shit. I was like, look, bro, this shit is not gonna come out the way you guys really want to come out. And the reason why they don't really want to do the reparation shit is because that will undo too much of the brainwashing and indoctrination for niggas to think that everybody got here through a slave ship, that everybody fucking black is a descendant of a slave. And if you did that, that would be more detrimental than fucking paying out money could ever be. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's really about. And like you said, what are you gonna do when Becky down the street got more slave blood than you, your black ass? You see what I'm saying? The white family that had fucking that one nigga, but they had never ever dealt with another nigga ever again, and they got that one motherfucking drop of fucking slave blood that they can track back to a fucking slave ledger, and now they get a reparations check. And you can't deny them. You can't deny them because again, they are a descendant of slave, regardless of their fucking skin color or their race.
Yo, that's a real good point, because one of this white dude I know, this white dude I know did his family tree. And my man had it was at one point in his great great grandparents generation that they started being that they had interracial kids.
Yep.
And then they just hid it and started dealing with white people.
See?
Right. So for them it was advantageous because they look white for them to just mingle with whites.
Yep.
And then, but they still have descendants that were slaves.
Thank you. And again, Fatal Dose, I was trying, instead of niggas understanding this, and like I said, man, if you debate, you have discussions, you understand, bro. You don't become emotional in the argument. You take the argument for what it is, and you either reverse engineer the argument, or you break down the argument, or you flip the argument to use it to your advantage. And what I kept trying to explain to people is like, look, man, everything that I'm bringing to you is going to be something that some fucking, more qualified and scholarly and whatever than I am, that's going to be saying in order to not pay you this fucking money, to not pay you these trillions upon trillions of dollars that will be owed to you. These are the arguments they're going to use. So instead of you getting mad at me and be like, oh, you coon ass nigga, all you did, no, nigga, just take my argument and find a counter to it. So when you are asked these questions by these senators or these congressmen or these lawyers that's represented by the federal government, you have the answer. But again, man, like I said, niggas are far too emotional, and they really don't think hard enough. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't even have the ability to think from that mindset. And this is why I laugh. Well, I don't know why you niggas debating it. It don't change nothing. Like, bro, you have white dudes on here, bro, that all they do is debate, and these motherfuckers make money hand over fist. I keep, but because you niggas just always wanted to shit on the next man and just, you know what I'm saying, belittle or deplete anything that's being done by a black man, you don't even understand what you're doing. You know what I'm
But
saying?
the thing is, Mr. Fantastic, it's much more than just debating, right? It's about sharpening of thoughts and
Exactly.
ideas. You know
That's
what I
what I'm
mean?
saying,
And
bro.
also helping brothers think through, coming with the ideology of thinking.
Thank you.
You
And
know,
to get shit off my chest too. You know what I
Well, no,
mean?
yeah,
and that's important too. But like you said, man, it's so people don't understand indoctrination, man. Again, you're not taught how to think; you're just taught what to think, and that's why you have people still running around here thinking, "Oh, nigga, oh, I'm intelligent because I got a degree, or I'm intelligent because I got this great." No, brother, no disrespect. All respect to you for being able to repeat and regurgitate information given to you, but that's not intelligence, brother. It's not intelligence. That's the
I
ability.
wanted to, and that's funny, fam. I just kind of want to touch on that point you were talking about the slaves back then.
Yeah, go ahead.
People don't realize there were Irish slaves, right?
Yeah.
Like people, and they lived amongst black people, and we got proof of that. Did y'all know Tyrone is actually an Irish name?
No.
Yeah, Tyrone is an Irish name. So what happened after slavery ended? Black people, they were moving and they didn't really have nowhere to go, so they went to the ghettos where the Irish were, because that's where all the broke people was at, and they didn't know what to name their children, and they said all these kids named Tyrone was in the neighborhood, so they started naming their kids Tyrone. Yeah, Tyrone is an Irish name. My last name is actually Scottish. I mean, that's just shit like
But you
that
know
people
what
don't
though?
think
That's
about.
another big thing too, Citizen Lou. When you go back into it and you look into the history of a lot of European countries, before white rulership took over, there was a lot of African heritage in those countries. You know what I mean? That too. And like I say, they're never going to go into it and tell you about that, because again, that would overstate or actually put black people in the mindset of being something more than slaves. I mean, when you, as a black person, you taught two things: Africa, slavery. That's it. They don't let you know anything about any type
Yep.
of rulership or what I'm saying, rulership in Asia, rulership in Europe. Black people literally had some sort of rulership in leadership in pretty much everywhere in the planet, in the world, because again, everything started in Africa, and everyone moved to and tried to migrate to Africa in order to get everything, because that was the source of anything that was worth anything, whether it be gold, whether it be spices, whether it be whatever it was. Even at one point it was like it was big on like silk and shit, right? Like fabrics and shit, all kinds of crazy shit, right? So with so many things, man, that came out of Africa. But if they told you that, and again, they were able to trace it back and tell you the truth concerning European rulership and black people, and Asian rulership and black people. That's why you think fucking like certain like Cambodians and all that shit. You think the motherfuckers just all of a sudden dark for no reason, motherfucker? No, you motherfucker.
Right.
No, we were even in Japan, bro.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Again, man, it's and like you said, but they can't. The world. That's one of the secrets that the world is going to hide from just people of African descent altogether. So you can be just seen as a subservient thing. Again, that's why they keep telling us. And they always told us, fucking Sally Struthers, and these little kids with the flies and shit flying around their mouth. That's all I knew about Africa growing up. You know what I'm
but
saying?
yeah, but thing is, bro, that motherfucking victim mind state, man, that shit's addicting. It's like crack. You know what I mean? Like you
You're
get to
right.
suckle off, the government teeth for the rest of your life, and I don't have to do nothing. All I gotta do is cry crocodile tears and
Yeah,
and, and
because they
talk about slavery.
And
owe us.
and twerk in the middle of the street.
They owe us slavery. They owe us. They owe me this shit, man.
They owe me
I
these
shouldn't have to
Bro,
Jordans.
work. I shouldn't have to
facts,
do that.
bro.
My
And
great great grandmama, my great great granddaddy.
and
This ain't my grandmama generation. Stupid shit.
what's
Yeah,
so repulsive? What's so repulsive about freedom when it comes to black people is that shit requires effort.
yes.
It requires some type of work ethic in order to be maintained.
Yep.
That's why niggas are so adverse to the idea of self-reliance and freedom. Cause you have to work for the shit.
And jobs.
It has to be maintained. You can't remain free without any type of input.
Yeah, shout out to
Yeah,
Dominic
and
for the $2. Thank you, brother. My friends make 250K plus per year, but claim racism. Yeah, man, I don't even understand it, man. I don't.
Yo, here's something about that, right? Like everyone always tell me, like they talk about this systemic racism, and I've been vice president at some of the biggest banks in this country, and I tell people, if systemic racism exists, there's no way I would have ever made it there.
No, Fatal. The rebuttal to that is, they gotta let some in. That's the bullshit
Right,
rebuttal.
right, right. There were then the mailroom's available.
Right.
You know what I
Bro,
mean?
the shit's so ingrained though, man. Like I see, I be fucking around with your little, 20, 25-year-old chicks, man. Like they so brainwashed, bro. Like when I tell you, I sit here trying to have like this regular conversation. Well, you really can't have no regular conversation with no young bitch like that anyway. But just listening to the shit that they learn in these colleges, bro, they make it seem as if this shit is valid, dog. They dress this shit up in all these academic terms. They put it in textbooks.
Hmm.
People soak this shit up as if it's fucking real, dog. Like the ideology is so ingrained it can't be reversed.
Bro, let me tell you, I was talking to this 32-year-old man, right? And when I asked him why can't he, because he was complaining about everything, and I asked him, well, so why can't you do this or that? He's like, well, I've thought about it, but the white man's gonna stop me. And I
Oh
said to
God.
him, I asked him, I was like, yo, what are you talking about? He said, well, we were slaves. I said, were you a slave? He's like, and then rather than answering the question, he goes, slavery just ended in the 60s, is what he said to me. I said, yeah, you mean 1860s? Like, no, the 60s. I'm like, yeah, 1860s. And so
Bruh.
I asked him, I said, was your mother a slave? He goes, no. Was your grandmother a slave? No. Was your great grandmother a slave? No. So how could slavery have ended in the 60s? Like he had this dumb look on his face. He goes, well, I thought slavery ended in the 60s. And these are the type of people that'll like jump up on panels, woe is me, the world is against me, and they're ineffectual. They're not trying to do anything. They don't want to do anything because, as Bro Truth says, it requires work. Yo, for me to main like for like I'm getting older, right? So I can't keep up with the 30-year-old white boys that are full of energy nowadays, right? I'm like about to hit 47, and I'm like, yo, I can't keep up with
Yo,
these
I don't,
guys,
yo,
right?
even I don't even subscribe to that shit, man. Cause that's another form of victim mentality. I'm getting
No,
old, I can't XYZ. Nah,
no,
nigga,
no, no.
I'm
Let me
be out
finish.
here motherfucking doing what I do when I was 20, all the way to I'm motherfucking 60. So long as you fucking take care of yourself as a black man, bro, if you maintain your health, your mental state, you good. You know what I'm
No, no,
saying? You
I don't
in
want
the
to.
gym,
Let me rephrase
I
that. I
feel you,
don't
bro.
want to.
You just tired.
Yeah, I don't want to. I should say that. I don't want to. I could, and in some ways I am, but there's a certain limit. I'm like, yo, yeah, this is just the same game for me, right? So, the point being is that like, yo, and I'm still busting my ass, right? And I'm in technology, so I got to keep up with every bit of crap that comes out,
Trust me, I know,
studying,
bro.
reading,
Yeah.
trying to understand this stuff, and I'm a solutions architect, so I it's not like I could just be a Linux admin and that's it, and that's all I do all day. I know I have to know the network, Linux, Unix, Solaris. I have to know load balancing. I have to know all of it. I have to keep track of all of that crap.
Yeah,
So it's
trust me, bro. I know, man. I've built many networks in my life, man.
yeah.
Fucking yeah.
So so,
I know the feeling.
but
And
the same
you know
time
what
is
too, Fatal? Oh my bad. Go ahead, Fatal. Go ahead.
yeah, at the same time, like I see young brothers who's not even trying.
And so that's where I wanted to come in at, because I'm a programmer, right? And I remember when I was leaving my old thing, that bullshit nigga job I had that I was doing before I became what I'm doing now. I remember I was telling people like, bro, I think this coding thing is where it's at. Writing code, writing software. They were like, man, that shit for white boys. I'm like, nigga, what? You see these niggas making all this money. You see they working from home, doing what they doing. They ain't slaving like we doing. I'm like, y'all really want to, you know what I'm saying? So it's like at that point I realized like, you just gotta do you just gotta do you. We just can't like Fantastic was saying earlier, man, the dead weight, man. I'm telling you, when you leave niggas
Yep, you gotta
alone,
celebrate. You gotta separate.
we got to, bro. That's what I'm
And
saying.
you know what? Another thing too that I think a lot of people don't pay attention to is even when you're dealing with these females, man. pay attention to their mindset, man. In the way they think on shit, and get away from that, because you have some of these people that have them feminist ideologies, man, and you end up getting involved with them a little too serious, and it can be a crippler, you know. And even with some of the cats,
don't fuck
like
around and
said,
have no baby by one of these bitches, man. Your life is fucked. You
Oh,
ruined,
one of them feminist type bitches. Oh yeah,
bruh.
You cooked.
You out of there. Like my cousin, man, he getting roasted on the daily now, man. Like
She putting them out there.
on the militant type shit, man. This bitch is crazy. Straight crazy, bruh.
Told
But
y'all, man.
hey, real talk though, man. You made a fucking fantastic point there, sir. Because majority of niggas downfall come from these crazy ass feminist minded chicks, bro.
yep.
Straight
Oh
up,
yeah.
bro.
For me, it's only Colombian and Cuban. That's all I'm fucking with.
Hey, real quick, shout out to Indigenous TV for the 5. Thank you, brother. Ninjas worried about reparations and slavery. They better be worried about whether or not they'll be speaking Mandarin after tomorrow. Shout out.
And niggas
Kung
will try to.
Fu's
Hey,
gonna be
nigga better.
Kung Fu's
Hey,
gonna
nigga
be
better get to reading
mandatory.
them Chinese menus, man. Nigga better get the fucking learning some damn. Get that Duolingo going, man.
And you can't niggify Mandarin. Like there's no, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just signs and characters. There's no spelling. You know, there's no misspell. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't fuck it up. So it's a strict language to learn. And niggas don't even want
Yeah, you can't even get a nigga to read.
You know what I'm saying?
Niggas don't understand English, bro. So, like I said, I can imagine.
Word.
Yeah, it's
You
like
got
those. Remember those ghetto robots and Transformers? We don't do no reading.
Yeah.
That
Oh
was
wow.
the most racist shit ever. The two motherfuckers that was fighting that thing.
Oh yeah, man, yeah. And dude, one of them had like a gold toothfish,
gold
bruh.
Yeah.
No, looking like Leroy.
Bruh, that shit, duh.
Niggas,
I was so pissed.
the disrespect to niggas, bro, is just like, and
That's how you know they think we a joke, bro.
yeah, man.
I'm gonna tell y'all something too. You know, I'm a movie buff, man. Have y'all noticed that whenever there's a black lead, he rarely gets the cheeks? Have y'all noticed that?
Yeah, in modern
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Yo, check this out though, right? Here's any Star Trek fans? All right, so the new Star Trek Discovery is I mean it's not that good, but the graphics and it's a star. I'm a big Trekkie, so I watch it. And one thing I noticed, right, the lead on there is that chick from Walking Dead. Remember the black chick, Sasha,
The African chick
that
with
killed
the sword,
herself?
with the sword.
No, not her. There was another black chick that was on there for like 3 seasons, and she ended up committing suicide and left the show. Well, she is the lead in Star Trek Discovery, right? You have all of these eligible Starfleet officers that she could get with, right? Who did they get her to get with? This guy who was a thief. That was like he has this ship where he's a smuggler and stealing things.
Wow.
That's who she got with, and she's the captain of the ship now.
But that's actually accurate to real life though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was sitting there watching this. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, yo, this brother's a lieutenant. This brother, like, you get with the thief. Yo,
Yeah.
the disrespect in the movies for black men.
You know, I'm gonna say this last thing too about the movies, bro. You know, a lot of this is another thing too. We got to really start doing our history on like black media, black movie characters. Cause I'm gonna tell y'all something. You know, I'm a Marvel guy, and a lot of people don't know this, but Blade, the one Wesley Snipes, that was the first successful comic book adaptation to a movie. Without Blade, we wouldn't have Endgame, because the other one
Yep.
was that bullshit ass Elektra movie that nobody watched. And if it wasn't for Blade, we wouldn't even have the shit we have today. And
Yep.
Wesley Snipes took that shit over. So, I just wanted to throw that out there. It was on my mind.
Yeah,
Well,
and
I mean, what
Spawn
about
as well.
Shazam
Spawn
though,
as
man?
well.
The downplaying for you know, the black man being what he is, man. That's just has to happen. Because again, unfortunately, outside of us, outside of the people on the panel and here in the chat or in this space, you don't understand, bro, what the hell we up against. And again, you don't understand the importance of masculinity, intelligence, and not giving a fuck, bro. All right, and I'm not just saying like not knowing no nigga shit, but being willing to stand on principle. You know what I mean? And if you got to be the one by yourself screaming the right shit from the rooftops, that's what you're willing to do. And like I said, man, that separation is coming here very, very um soon and near. And what you're gonna see is, man, you're gonna see a lot of people fold because shit's finna get tough. This especially like this legislation that who knows what it's gonna be, all this immigrant shit and all these other things, and the attack that's about to happen on free speech.
And the fact that Bill Gates owned most of the farmland in
Man,
America.
listen, bro. Shout out to bro True. Listen, bro. If you niggas don't know how to fish, if you niggas don't know how to do something, bro, like for real, for real. Oh shit. Oh, most importantly, hey, bro, if y'all have not already did it, bro, before it happens, mandatory fucking national shutdown is coming, nigga. Y'all must have forgot like Roy Jones, but it's coming. I would say give it 2 weeks. And then the administration is going to talk about how we have another, it's either going to be like we have too much of a spike, or they're going to claim that the new strain has came over from the UK to here. And now we got to have another shutdown along with at the same time. This is why they're trying to, they're going to give this to you by the $1,400. That's why they're trying to push the $1,400 shit. Right. And then on top of that, as soon as you get back from the $1,400, they're going to raise the minimum wage to $15 as to where even after you're out of the thing, you think you're going to be able to go out and get one of these brand new $15 an hour jobs, but it's not going to be any jobs had. And the few people that do get jobs, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this is going to be a rough year, bro. And like I said, if you don't have your shit together, bro, hey, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't.
Also too, the CDC mandated.
Already talking about.
They mandated negative PCR tests to return to America after January 26th if you travel. I don't know if y'all knew that, and it goes again, and it is this how they usurp the Freedom of Movement Act, because you're not supposed to deny American citizen reentry, but what they're doing, they're mandating airlines for, you know what I'm saying. So the airline's just not going to take you over there. Like you can whatever walk if you can get back, but you know what I'm saying. So
not only that though, man, you have Oracle, Salesforce, and Microsoft actually coming together to create a COVID passport. This is in the works as we speak.
Damn.
So eventually there will be a COVID passport requirement for different airlines. Before you can fly, you need to have the verification that you have received the vaccine.
And also too, contact tracing with Apple, there, if you like, let's just say you're on the same Wi-Fi network as somebody who had COVID when they tested whatever, then your contact trace it. Your contact trace.
Oh yeah, hey man, listen, that whole find your phone. I don't know who has a Android or Samsung or whatnot, bro. Don't do that shit, bro. I done had these motherfuckers trying to hit me with this find my phone shit like out of the blue, literally like every 5 minutes for the last 3 days, bro. That's contact tracing like a motherfucker. Listen, man. This shit right here, like you
heard about that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the contact tracing. Yeah, that's how they got Kevin Durant.
That's what's finna be real hard right now. And speaking of them commune niggas, the number one commune niggas, the NBA. NBA is about to start this shit too and getting your favorite NBA stars, and we know who'll be the head of all heads.
Laquisha James.
Yeah, that nigga there will be the first one trying to fucking convince you that you need to get the vaccine. Listen, man, again, for you all that do not know, the vaccine is not FDA approved. It is not FDA approved. It is emergency use authorized. Okay. If you volunteer, again, if you take the fucking vaccine, you are volunteering to do it. And anything that happens to you, since you're volunteering to take it, it is not mandatory, which you wouldn't be able to do anyway. You wouldn't even have a case, even if it was, because you can't sue over a vaccine. Shout out to Fatal Dose, man. And like I said, that's really fucked up, man. Like you said, he has a personal connection and experience with that. But even more so, bro, you're literally signing up to be a free fucking guinea pig, man. And the shit that's happening with these vaccines, bro, they are keeping that shit under the radar like a motherfucker. They're scrubbing, they're hiding, they're trying to push this shit to the back. Anything that comes out factual about extreme reactions to death due to this fucking vaccine, bro, they're just trying to fucking shrug it off. So listen, man, if you want to be the person to go out here and do whatever the fuck, hey, by all means, is your right. Do you? But again, if you understand what the ultimate plan for this shit is, bro, you're literally playing with your life. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
And what's crazy is that most people don't even understand how different this vaccine is from other vaccines, bro. They have not done any research on how this vaccine affects the body way differently than a normal vaccine does. That is the blind spot for most people. They've promoted this vaccine as if it's the same old. Nothing to see here. It's A-okay.
Yep.
You know, it's everything's been tested, not knowing that it was only a 4-week safety period of testing, bro. 4 weeks. And every single animal tested with this type of vaccine died when it was exposed to a live virus that it was being vaccinated against. Fucking died.
I knew this was
they died from horrible cancers or some other disease due to the vaccine alone.
Yeah, let me say this though. My sister's a nurse, right, at a hospital that's the only hospital in the area that's allowed to give the vaccine, right? And they've been bringing in all of the nurses and doctors from other hospitals to get it. Now she didn't get it. She's about to lose her job because she doesn't want to. So she's trying to figure out something else to do. But the point is, she told me that for this whole time with COVID, the hospital was empty. And right now, the hospital has 200 COVID patients, and they're all nurses and doctors who took the vaccine. Yeah, so it's crazy. Let me say this as well, right? As the brother was saying that brothers haven't done research on what's in the vaccine. It's an RNA vaccine that goes in and rewrites your DNA. Now I know this is Tinfoli Tuesdays, so I'm gonna be the first to throw this out there. I think this is how the zombie apocalypse began. A year from now, your motherfuckers gonna wake up and start biting, chewing on each other.
But I seen
hey, well, hold on, just real quick. Why you bullshitting? Listen, Fatal Dose. This is a thing, and like you said, it's plenty of people to shout out to the brother, Hawkeye's 28, brother. If you want to come up, by all means, man, come up. Click the link. It's pinned to the top. If you want to come up and build on it, bro. But listen, like you said, man, the whole point of this is not the right now. It's the long term. And the long term is for them to incorporate this. Shout out to Bro Truth. He was the first brother to say this in the space. Incorporate this with nanotechnology and everything else, bro, to where, blockchain and all this other shit, as to where everything is within yourself. All the information is there. Contact tracing, all this shit. It won't be no need for phones or anything. I just seen this crazy shit too. When they had the what is it, Out of Time or Time? What was the shit with Justin Timberlake? Time?
Yeah, what they stole time from each other.
Yeah, out of time.
That's what it was. So that's the one with when they fucking pull the fucking shit on your you're able to pull everything up on your wrist and look at everything. Your the money you got, your birthday, your heart rate, all of that fucking bullshit, bro. The transhumanism shit is real, bro. You know what I'm saying? It really is, and people can't, because people think we're so far away for shit that's already here. Again, bro, fucking Elon Musk is putting motherfucking like brain readers in goddamn pigs. Why the fuck you think he doing that shit? Like you say, this Oculus shit, bro. The virtual reality is about to take off too. Y'all, man, I seen this shit, bro, where they got this thing to where, nigga, you were like literally running like on a platform and like everything, like 360-degree fucking rotation and interaction and all this other shit for a fucking whole virtual reality fucking experience game. Crazy shit.
If a quick thing, right? Brothers should check out Lennon Honor's video on transhumanism.
Oh, Lennon, I didn't know Lennon Honor even talked about this shit. Anything?
Yeah. Before
anything outside of Umar, I thought it was.
Yeah, I didn't know.
He went crazy.
Learn something new.
Yo, this is before he went crazy. When I used to watch his stuff, my man have some really good stuff out there, bro. I mean, a lot of good stuff out there from when he first started.
That shit don't pay
So
like roasting Umar though.
no, it doesn't.
Hey.
It doesn't. But like, yo, check out Lennon Honor's videos on transhumanism. It is eye opening, bro. He did them maybe about like 6, 7 years ago, maybe longer, 7, 8 years ago.
Okay.
It might still be on YouTube. Check them out, bro.
Well, like I said, man, I told you when we did it here. I think it was on. Was it Tinfoli Tuesday, y'all? And we talked about the fucking the prosthetics, like literal, like nigga, real life, motherfucking universal soldier type shit. Motherfuckers got carbon fiber arms and 360-degree fucking wrist dexterity. They can pick up a fucking penny or a grape, but at the same time they can fucking crush a brick or a rock. Listen, man, all of this shit starts out as just helping.
Sci-fi.
And well, no, not just that. It just like practical use, right? Just a tool, a helpmate for all these other things. But what people don't understand, bro, is all this shit can be weaponized, bro. Anything is mechanical for the most part, bro. That shit is just you can weaponize anything, nigga. These little dogs and shit that walk around, Boston Dynamics and all this other shit, helpers and all this shit, bro. You put a motherfucking 50 cal on that bitch. Now what you gonna do?
Right.
Fido ain't friendly no more, easy.
That is true, because like the little browser they use to get on the dark web, the Navy actually created that. The
Of
Tor
course.
browser.
Yeah, all this shit is oh shit, I didn't know that. Goddamn, I gotta be careful. But yeah, man, listen, that's the crazy part about it, man. And like you say, it's all about application. But because especially with us, niggas are just so like, what I'm saying, not saying we niggas, but niggas can compare it, and even some black people, man, just don't even have any idea of just how technologically advanced the fucking world is. Can you imagine? Like I said, bro, if I go back home and was to tell people a lot of this shit concerning what I'm talking about, what we're talking about, and it's proven, this is something that I can fucking like, hey man, Google this, Google luciferase, Google fucking mRNA, Google fucking, whatever, this, that, and the other, and all these other things, right? Oh man, what the hell you talking about, nigga? Ha 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 ha. And niggas be trying to make fun of me or joke me because nigga, I know about some shit that you just can't even imagine. That's factually going on right now, real life. And then lo and behold, like I said, when your ass is, laid the fuck up looking like Quasimodo and shit, because motherfucker, they done activated the motherfucking apoptosis in your fucking cells and shit, nigga, from you taking the goddamn vaccine.
Your ass melting away.
So what they use in the COVID vaccine in Moderna and the one offered by Pfizer are these particles. They're called VLPs. They're called they're a form of nanotechnology. It's they're called virus-like particles. They derive from different viruses like plant viruses. They say they're not infectious or harmful to mammals, which could be complete bullshit. But these VLPs, virus-like particles, mimic the molecular patterns that are associated with pathogens in humans. So it makes them highly visible to our immune system. So this serves as the platform that the mRNA, the active ingredient in these vaccines, this serves as the platform for that injection into our cells. So in this case, it's analogous to the old adjuvants of the vaccine. So, the adjuvants, mercury, nickel, all this other bullshit that they put into the old vaccines to elicit the immune response. In this case, they've come up with this medium, this nanobacteria, this nanotechnology, these virus-like particles, this nanotechnology serve as the platform to introduce that mRNA into your cells. It actually can be programmed to essentially defeat your cell's natural defense in order for that mRNA to be implanted into the nucleus of your cells. They try to say that the mRNA it only changes the DNA and the cytoplasm, which is complete bullshit. If you actually look into the research and how it fucking works, no, the messenger RNA is actually it actually rewrites your DNA code through a process. Well, it engages a enzyme called reverse transcriptase. It's a long ass name, but that's this enzyme then is responsible for reverse engineering what the mRNA is encoded for.
Yo, bro, true.
That's how your cells then learn how to grow the antigen or the spike protein on its surface. So the whole point of this is to basically make your cells into um, basically make a cell immune to the COVID vaccine, the COVID virus. So if it does try to dock itself on a cell, the cells already have that spike protein that's immune to that. Which is this all this shit is based off of rushed science. All this shit is based off of fucking some Frankenstein shit, bro, that has not been shown to be safe in the lab, has not been shown to be safe in animals, and they've basically pulled the wool over everyone's eyes. Anyone that hasn't, done any kind of, research on this shit, bro, they pretty much been duped.
Yeah, check this out though, right? So back in the early 2000s, I saw this documentary on nanotechnology, and they had already figured out how to create nanobots which can replicate themselves by building other robots from the atomic level. So they'll take atoms, one atom at a time, to build a structure, right? So you inject yourself with this. There's no telling what this stuff is programmed to do a year from now, 10 years from now inside of your body. It may be a Trojan horse that builds nanobots to go and attack your cells and kill you.
Well, they're selling this technology as a way to basically speed up the farming of vaccines. They actually call it molecular farming. Again, you're using this nano material, this lipid-based material, as a platform to grow not only to grow the vaccines in. You also are using this as something that can be programmed, right, to engage in the body in certain means. So in this case, is to uh, bring down your body's cell's defense so that the mRNA can engage within the cell. That's what this nanotechnology is being programmed to do in this case. It can be programmed. It can be programmed to do other things. It can be programmed to do numerous other things. And on top of that, there's other processes that occur in the body that are never taken into account when they're doing these experiments, right? There's so many, like our bodies is so delicate, bro. Like you disturb one system, you automatically gonna have a reaction in another system, bro.
Right.
That's never taken into account when they're running these tests. It's always about trying to get a certain outcome so they can increase profit margins.
Agreed. And here's what's interesting about all this that a lot of people aren't thinking about, right? What makes us human is our DNA. You start rewriting our DNA, then we're no longer human beings. We've morphed into something else. And the other thing is, you think about these transformers out there who some of them want to claim that they're men and some of them claim that they're women. You can use something similar to go and rewrite their DNA to mimic to mimic
Oh shit,
a female's DNA. And even if you try to take a test, you'd never know that wasn't
well, listen, and we gonna close it out on that because they starting to fucking kick your ass out. So like I said, I think you just found the key and you hit the nail on the head, bro. Listen, anytime you're talking about something that literally can change your genetic code, because ultimately, like I said, they'll be able to treat you like a phone or like any type of software programming and have control over you outside of you because of the nanotechnology. that is a very, very dangerous and slippery slope. Like you said, man. Shout out to Bro Truth again. Bro Truth was one of the first people to talk about the chimeras and the shit they was doing over in China too. A lot of people don't even know about that. Them mixing up all kinds of different DNA, rats with chickens and animal DNA with fucking human DNA and all this shit, man, that's going on. Listen, man, you have to understand a lot of shit you can't get done here. But what they do is they pretty much outsource it in other countries that have no qualms about, doing these crazy ass Frankenstein type experimentations. And a lot of it to do with possibly humans too. So again, man, one of the biggest things and problems that you always see in these sci-fi movies or whatnot is man trying to play God. And out of them trying to play God, you can get this crazy ass, either zombie like or monstrous creation that pretty much takes over the fucking what's the name, because it's not human. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that you always warned about, man, is man trying to play God. They even talking about these what do they call them? Damn, what debate where you get to pick the baby's fucking gender and you get to pick the baby's eye color and all this shit. They got a term for it. I can't think of what it is.
Designer babies.
Yeah, designer babies. Shout out this Bro Truth. Yeah, man. All this shit is down already. They telling you, man, this is gonna be possible within the next 5 to 10 years, man. And like you said, what's the better way to do it than now by getting the vaccine? Because now you get to literally rewrite DNA. And like you said, one thing you never able to do before was change, man to woman. But now if you get the fucking mRNA where you change the fucking thing about what the cell is going to be, and you get it down to the fucking chromosomes and all these other things, now what?
And guess what? You at that point you are a product. You have basically been modified in such that you are patentable.
Exactly. Who don't want to be 6 feet tall, 250, sub 10% body fat. You see what I'm saying? That's and I'm telling you, man, it's crazy out here, bro.
Niggas gonna be building themselves like they do on fucking 2K.
Hey, 2K and goddamn Madden, nigga. Every nigga gonna be 6 feet tall, motherfucker.
with blue eyes. I never understood how niggas did that on 2K. But hey, I know you about to wrap it up. I'm gonna go ahead and
niggas gonna have that motherfucking good hair, that motherfucking like they got that motherfucking kit, that S curl in there and shit. But yeah, niggas will be, you know what I'm saying, getting all that shit. You had these fucking dark skinned niggas with these green eyes like they back in the 90s and shit. Like I never understood that shit either. Like niggas stop it.
But for real. But I know we about to wrap it up. I'm gonna go ahead and leave on this.
Yeah, man. Hey, this is a great convo, man. I greatly appreciate everybody that came through. Y'all know how we do. We're back on the regular schedule, so you know what I mean. Look forward to it on every Tuesday. The next one, y'all, is gonna be super heavy because this is gonna get into the money aspect of it and start talking to you pretty much how the income tax and the Federal Reserve just pretty much put this shit on hyperdrive into running America to the point we are now. And I say now, man, just look at this, the debt bubble that's possibly to pop. If and when it does, man, this is gonna be some shit of epic proportions. Like even back when, like Black Friday, the Great Depression type shit is gonna have nothing on this, man. So it's just something to look out for. And shout out to Zero in the building, man, coming through in the at the buzzer. But greatly appreciate you guys for coming through, man. That's that on that one. Now catch
quick
y'all
thing before you go, right? Quick homework for everybody. Watch Esoteric Agenda. That'll help out greatly with next week's show. It's called Esoteric Agenda. If it's still up on YouTube or wherever you can find it.